What's going on, everybody? People around the world from all over the country. Welcome to Locker Room Sports. We're glad y'all will come by and make us part of your day. We wouldn't rather be doing anything else, Dean, would we?
Nah.
Next Sunday, 6 o'clock. What else is going on?
Mostly dreading your next day at work. Most people.
Guys, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Plenty of college stuff to talk about. We got some high school games to do. And what did I forget? Oh, yeah. Let me put the Georgia didn't play good. We're going to talk about them.
No, they had a tough game, to say the least.
Arizona did not show up at all. UCF and TCU wound up being a slobber knocker. And LSU and South Carolina
was game of the day, wasn't it?
Both tried to lose the game. I mean,
yeah, that was
how do you both try to lose it?
That was an odd one. Did you ever find out why Sellers went out?
No, I ain't heard nothing. I need
somebody tell us why their quarterback,
y'all get us a report,
who had 188 yards rushing and 150 passing, went out in the fourth quarter, and Ashford come in. I mean, I'm assuming he was hurt. I wouldn't think they'd just make a change for the heck of it.
No, I think somebody said later ankle.
Okay.
He rolled his ankle.
It didn't help. I mean, Ashford didn't do bad, but Sellers is a big-time playmaker.
Well, Robbie Ashford's not – he's not at Auburn for a reason. I mean, let's just be honest. Auburn fans, y'all please tune in. And thank all you for watching, coming by. We picked up a lot of subscribers from that what is this thing doing? Is it doing it again?
Trying to see how we did this week, buddy.
We picked up a lot of subscribers from the Auburn video just in general. I did a little 15-minute video about Auburn, and the fans deserve better. That's what I called it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the fans did get better. They got better. They got a better game Saturday.
They did.
We'll talk about Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
That's New Mexico High School. New Mexico. But it's a win. And what their fans have to realize is the program is not in good shape. They are what I predicted them to be this summer. And I still got them on the same track to win probably 7 games.
Yeah, I'd say 6 or 7.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about them. Alabama checks all the boxes. The new AP poll is out. We'll throw it up on the interweb here.
They
and look
did
at
good
it
yesterday. Looked good.
Alabama got their all-offensive line back together finally, and that makes a difference.
They looked good, and I thought Wisconsin played well.
They ran the ball well. They shut down everything Wisconsin could try to deal with them. I mean, what did they have rushing on the day, Wisconsin?
They ended up with, about 150.
I think it was like 130, 140 something.
Yeah, but now I think it was 150 to 140 passing, 140 passing, 150.
Now Van Dyke
went out. That didn't help, but I don't think they would have. It would have been closer, but I don't think it would have.
Yeah, I don't think it was
no.
I don't think it was a deciding factor.
No, I would think maybe 35-20, 35-17.
Yeah,
Alabama just seemed to really be clicking on offense. Milroe looked fantastic most of the day.
Yeah,
and
he's a good football player. We'll talk about some. Y'all go ahead and be thinking about some Heisman people, maybe that tailback at Boise.
Yeah, I'd say Milroe's in the running. Dart, Ewers,
Cam Ward,
definitely. I think Beck might be out now. I mean, for now.
Yeah, and Ewers, he's hurt again.
He hurt
for the 10th time. I've had a – didn't I say back in the summer, if he'll have a complete year, he could make a run at this thing. But he cannot. He's as bad as Tua.
What happened yesterday?
What was yours?
I can't remember. I just know Manning played well, but wasn't a tough.
Was it shoulder strain?
They were supposed to win.
Or was that somebody?
That might have been shoulder.
Arizona State, Texas State. We watched that game Thursday night. We left out of here, and you went on. And
31,
I texted Dean later and said, "Hey, there's a good game on this." Leavitt, quarterback at Arizona State, 246 yards, and McLeod at Texas State though for 268, 4 touchdowns.
It was a good game.
31-28, Arizona State took care of business.
The game of the day for me, which we'll get into it later, I enjoyed the LSU game a lot.
Yeah, they both tried to give it away.
Yeah.
Kelly has got to figure out.
Well, he said, we got to finish. And they
They
really didn't. I mean, he missed a field goal.
They got to figure this team out.
Yeah.
He's been there long enough.
He's stressing
Okay.
too.
I mean, he won the SEC West.
Yeah.
I mean, already.
I like our quarterback. I
That's
really
nice,
like
good.
him. I like it. He made some bad, not many though.
He made some bad choices.
Yeah, yesterday. He usually don't though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind him. I mean, if I found out tomorrow he was Alabama's quarterback, I wouldn't be upset.
I wouldn't trade Milroe for him.
Well, no, I wouldn't trade Milroe for him. But if there was never a Milroe.
And Georgia, the Kentucky, we'll talk more about that. We was just watching Uncle Lou, which is the #1 Georgia fan in the world. And he says, we've been up there 5 times. South Carolina goes on the road. And Kirby keeps saying, well, on the road in the SEC, it's just kind of tough when you have to. Well, it wasn't tough for South Carolina. They go up there and dump nearly 40 on them.
We don't know what goes on up there.
They've combined the average points that he's been up there 5 times. Is
14.
What? 14 average?
Oh, no, the average was 20 last 3 years. 3 times 14.
He's been up there 5 times. They dumped him one year, and that was Kentucky's best year.
Yes, they dumped them. Yeah. That was
There's something else.
27-24.
He said the only common denominator was Kirby, and it is. He's had a different coordinator every time, nearly a different quarterback almost every time. So
I think they just probably take the game for granted a little bit.
But after all these times, you go, okay, last 4 times we've been up there, we always go up there and lay an egg.
Yes.
Can we please have more than 60 yards of offense? This is ridiculous.
16-6 the year they won it.
These people on the media voting Georgia be #1. They're not. I had them 5 in my preseason. That's where I'd keep them.
I think I got them 3. He had to drop them after
yes,
that.
you did.
I mean, we had Kentucky doing pretty well this year.
Yeah, they're okay. But, I mean, they're going to win 7, 8 games.
Heck,
9 maybe.
Their running back didn't play.
He ain't played yet.
That was not their main back. He may be now, but he was not. And Vandergrift didn't have a great game.
No, Beck had a terrible game.
Yeah.
They didn't even
play pretty good in the second half. He didn't in the first.
Played till 10 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
We'll get more into that. Guys, hit the darn subscribe button. If you hadn't already, if you're stumbling by this page for the first time, we are Locker Room Sports. I'm your host, Big Matt, co-host with the most, the Diamond Dean. We do local high school stuff, break them down, and brag on our kids around here. We'll have a player of the week. And then the last part of the show, we're going to talk college. It's plenty to talk about during the season. And we're on pretty much year-round. During the summers, even, we kind of get into best ofs, and we'll go through team schedules, and we'll do a lot of different stuff. So
this show we've done it 252 times.
Yeah, so go
Not
ahead.
Nervous anymore.
No, gosh, no. I can't wait to get on here and we can give our thoughts. We want to hear your thoughts. I mean, we love the comment section. We got a great group of people. I had guys from Louisiana comment section on Auburn. Guys from North Carolina. We got people from Florida, Texas, watches from all over the place. We're not just local anymore, and that's kind of why it's not just Matt and Todd show anymore. It's become much more than that.
Yeah, and I like the name. I like Locker Room Sports.
That gives us an identity and not just be Rick and Bubba.
Yeah, Matt and Todd. I mean, there might be 6 Matt and Todds.
Well, if we come on every day and did a show, or like 3 or 4 days a week, like this was our job, I probably wouldn't have even thought about it. Like we kind of do news for the day, and then we'll do sports like on Mondays and Fridays. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're just going to do news, what's going on, that kind of stuff. But we're here to appetize the crowd, and let's get to the shout section here before we get on there too deep in here. I know Jeff's in here. TriStar, what are you doing, you old scallywag? You Tennessee versus Oklahoma, SEC versus Big 8. It's good to see you on here, homie. Old Twitter guy. Do you remember when the guy come on? Was you with me that day? He was a trucker, and he did a video with us from his truck. I don't know if it was me and you and Birds but TriStar come on. Find me back on Twitter because I lost you over there when I had to.
I don't know. Was I here that day?
Cancel my account out, TriStar, and make sure you follow me back over there on Twitter. It's just the same thing. You see, it's my picture there. He's a big homer, Tennessee homer, like Cousin Shane and Michael Brandon and them. What's going on, everybody? This is welcome to the SEC podcast.
Aaron, up a little bit yesterday, didn't it?
What's up, guys? Aaron, we hope you're having a good time. Big week ahead in high school football. We are fixing to get into that.
Yeah, big week.
Yes, and upper body injury. That's what he said. We're talking about
Sellers.
Ewers.
Oh,
I think it was a shoulder sprain. I think I heard some weird word and then sprain. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeff Anderson, #1 fan in the world. Yeah, Tantrum is is still held out due to an injury. He'll be active for next week. Man, they turn.
Well, I mean, the guy did good. I could not pronounce his name, but he did good. He had 98 yards against Georgia, who's pretty stout against the
They got to
run.
figure that out.
Of course, Georgia still didn't give up 300 yards, but they didn't gain but 260. So
It's I'll put it in the thing here. TriStars at.
I'd say they'll have a rough week up there.
I'll send the show over there right now. Actually, I'm excited about this week coming up. There's a lot of good high school games, and Dean, tell us about some games right here in the area. Or what was you?
Well, I went to the Cedar Bluff game.
What'd you think about that overall?
That was a good game.
It was an overtime game. I was there too. Got to see the Tigers in action first.
Overtime. Cedar Bluff was down. North San run the kickoff back.
Yeah, coming out of halftime.
Made it 13-6. Then Hunter Jenkins broke a 90-yarder.
Called back.
Got called back. I hate to see touchdowns called back.
Let's stop doing that. If it breaks the play, but if it's some of that crap on the other side of the field, bro, come on.
But they came back and had a 90-yard drive right after that.
Yeah.
And tied it up. Went in overtime. Jenkins scored on the first play. And they had North San in a 2nd and goal from the 20. And, of course, you saw it. He threw a post route. Boy made a good catch, and then he threw an out route at the end in the end zone for the 2-point play and got it, and they won 21-20. It was a heartbreaking loss for the Tigers.
North San drives the field, and talking about towards the end of the game there, and Cedar Bluff stops them on 4th down.
They did. Stopped them on 4th down.
Big play.
At the 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, one or two. 1, 2, 3, somewhere there. Huge stop, great stand by. It's a senior team, but it's senior by title. They don't mean they've played for 4 or 5 years.
Right. Not a lot of them's played together. You got Bryson, quarterback. His first year playing, right?
First year playing football.
I thought he played good. He threw for over 100.
Absolutely. But after stopping them there,
yeah, they seemed fired up. But
we can't, the quarterback draw. It just seemed like we're trying just to get ready to go to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they were just like,
yeah,
you want to win the game.
Yeah, they had a long way to go, though.
Yeah, and this is our school. This is where we went to school at. We're not being extra tough on them. Of course, we love our school, and we want to see them win. We want to see them build and be successful. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And getting the ball down there and moving it some. Game ties end. Cedar Bluff takes the overtime to take the ball and go in. And they score first play. Boom, come in, set up the extra point. Bam, kick one. They go ahead, and North San comes in there. Face mask, offsides, a penalty. Quarterback rolls out to the side. He's past the line of scrimmage, throws, boom, tied that. No, it's no good. It's over the line. Set it back up again. And finally, it seemed like odds were just against North San to win the game there for a while. It just felt like Cedar Bluff's going to pull this one out, and it's going to be great for morale. And they need that win to stay ahead in this region. They just nearly have to have that win. And
he makes the best throw of the night.
Yeah, he gets over there behind them, and he just sneaks in behind them over there.
Yeah, that post route's hard to cover.
He's open.
But I will say this about the post: it's usually not thrown perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it was then.
Yeah.
And the boy made a good catch, too.
Yeah.
But he made a good throw on that 2-point play. It nearly got tipped.
Yeah.
But as far as Cedar Bluff goes, they had yardage from Jenkins, had over 100. Teague, he hooked up with Edmondson and Tracy a lot.
Tracy had a video put up with him. Had a little reel deal with him.
He had a good game.
Yeah.
Both of those, that catch Edmondson made on that long drive was pretty amazing.
Oh, like I'm talking, all of a sudden it just feels like a knife just sticks in my throat.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about the one on the visitor side in that corner, that catch?
No, I'm talking about late in the game, the one where he went up with the 3 guys around him.
Yes, I was standing there on
pretty impressive.
The one across from me, I couldn't see, and I just
that was a touchdown.
I just looked for the ref, and he goes. I was like, "Holy crap!"
Oh gosh, he was covered good
Wow.
too.
Yeah, I bet he's. We're glad to have him over here. They're good people. His mom and dad, we know them.
Yeah, and the Katie and Tracy, it's
Man,
turned
what
into
audition.
a nice pickup.
Know his mom forever and ever.
Mhm.
Known her since before when she was younger than him. Know
He's good on
her family.
defense too.
Yeah,
Makes a lot of tackles.
this team has got some young eyes in some key places, and they miss things, and you don't want to get too frustrated and be overcoach them, because it's like trying to teach a seventh grader algebra.
Well,
they're gonna get it, but that first day algebra class, they're like their hands up, they're asking questions. They're just not sure yet.
Well, I know they've got 2 defensive backs that play a lot and 2 linebackers. This is pretty much their first year to get a lot of playing time.
Yeah.
And D-line too. So you don't have a ton of experience out there. And Tracy come on at the end of last year. He didn't start at the first of the year, but now there towards the end, he tore it up. Of course, Jenkins has a ton of experience. And Edmondson has a lot of experience. And some of the linemen like Jacob and Jaden Flynn. But outside of that, you just don't have a ton of experience on this team.
That's the part where you patiently, waiting as fans and as parents, and as we see through college stuff, kids are, fans and people are just not real patient. They want to win right now, and I know you want your kids to win. My son was a Tiger too, and I get it. I used to hang on the fence and yell all the time and at the refs, and
I think that had Cedar Bluff scored the 90-yard touchdown.
Yep.
Right then, I know they scored on that drive, but I think that was, and I still think it was a backbreaker.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't want to call shot on any refs, because trust me, it's a job.
I mean, he might have done it. I didn't see.
We need plenty of help.
But the run was just ridiculous.
But you're calling back a long touchdown run in a close game.
And know what Matt's saying? He's not condoning that if, that sprung it.
Yeah.
But it didn't. He made it. They had him bottled up and tackled, and he spun out of it and broke back across the field. It was ridiculous run. And I don't know. It
didn't turn out good for our Tigers. And
the hold didn't make it.
They're going to have to go to practice tomorrow.
Yeah, they got section this week, so
they'll be back at home at LD Bruce Field, and we'll be wishing them luck, like everybody in the county. And I think they got a great chance to win Friday.
Oh yes, sir.
And
that was a tough one.
And I don't know
don't
about
want to barely lose. I'd rather get beat bad than barely lose.
I don't know if Hunter. I don't know his knee and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, he ran well.
I don't know. Like Hunter Stallings. I don't know if he's.
Oh, Hunter Stallings.
I don't know if he's going to be back.
I don't know. His mother told me they wasn't putting him back until he was ready.
Yeah.
In which I understand that. And I told her, I was like, if you come back too early, you're no help anyway.
Yeah, right. And he knows that. But Hunter, he's that kind of kid, man. He wants to play so bad. Like all kids. We've been through knee injuries. I remember trying to counsel sort of with Connor Bates, Spring Garden. God, man, you could just he'd hop out there on one leg.
Yeah.
Hunter would too.
Well, 50%. You got to be 100. You need to be at least 80.
Yeah.
Not 50. You're not going to help the team. Nobody.
Final score at Cedar Bluff was 21-20. Tigers move on. They'll play section. They'll be again at home if you want to go see some football over there. Sandrock, I was getting scores through the night, getting scores. They just take care of business.
They rolled, didn't they?
They did. I was getting scores there up again, and it's 15, and then it's 20-0. And
3-1.
Yeah.
They've already surpassed last year's wins. Robinson, wow, 175 yards. That's a good game.
Yes.
They rushed for over 300. Didn't have to pass much. What did Alec, 1 for 1.
He's 1,000, so he may have. I told him, I said he'll be our. I mean, he was just our player of the week.
Yeah,
He may have to be double player of the week.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
1,000%.
didn't have an incompletion.
No, perfect record.
And we don't have to say that he only threw one pass.
Oh yeah, I was kidding with his dad about that. It's good people.
200 yards.
Yes,
1 for 1.
What's up, Mason? Good to see you, sir. So Sandrock taking care of business, 36-6, get the victory over Section, and like we said, Section will be coming right on down here, across the water, across the Weiss Lake Bridge. Weiss Lake.
Weiss.
It's Weiss. Taking on Cedar Bluff this coming week. Also, same kind of thing with Spring Garden. They wound up beating Woodville 48-0. I was getting scores from that game also. Same kind of feel. 14-0. Takes back a few minutes. 20-0. Few minutes. 28 and then 36. And I'm like, oh gosh,
they're rolling.
Noah yards and stuff. And
had 150 again. Wow. He's threw for 100 yards in every game. Connor had 150 of offense. That's catching and receiving. Sadler was the 114 yards.
See,
you said he made how many tackles? 9.
Yeah, him and the kid that won, Gray and Driscoll and those guys, Simpson. It's the same kind of guys that last week was same thing. Making a lot of tackles. And we know as this bunch, as we've seen them grow, like we do here in the county, Coach Ragsdale is going to make sure his defense is.
Yeah, they're stout.
I mean, that's what he does.
I mean, they've give up 1 touchdown.
Yeah, and Draven's taken over. He's done a good job keeping on track with
1 legit, maybe 2.
What Coach Ragsdale left with when he was doing it, when Coach Howard was there.
They're giving up 10 points a game, but now 2 of those touchdowns were late against Ragland. And I think one of Pleasant Valley's was. So their first team defense may have given up 2 scores in 4 games.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. So
and John and John and Jacob, they're always playing a part.
John caught, of course, he's the leading receiver in the county. He caught a pass for 28. He didn't have to do a lot the other night. But Barber, heck, he's got 500-600 yards passing this year.
And I tell this story. I've probably told it 3 times. I probably don't need to tell it anymore.
He's probably the leading passer.
Y'all are probably tired of hearing it. I remember propped up on the fence 2 years ago or something. He throws a pick. He rolled out and he kind of throwed late, and I was just like, bless his heart, I shoot. And somebody said, I don't know what he's doing. Why is he doing? Kind of getting on him a little bit. I said, I was talking to the guy on the fence. I didn't know at the time that was his father. I didn't know. And I just said, well, you can give the kid a break.
Yeah.
I mean, he rolled out late, and it's just, he made a bad decision because watching him throw the ball, he's going to be okay. He just made a bad decision. And those bad decisions you can fix from learning and experience, which he has now. And this paid off, and we're seeing it now. And we're rooting for him. And
he probably rushes for 40 or 50 yards a game too. I'd say he could throw for 1,000, rush for 500 easy.
Wow.
I mean, that's a good year. Plus, he plays a lot of defense.
Yeah, and it's 1A football. And they are winding up. And when we get into some next week games, biggest game in the region.
I got a tough one this week. But nobody's even played them close.
They got to go.
Neither team. Well, no, Gillsville and Cedar Bluff for a while actually played Valley Head pretty good, but
Spring Garden's got to go to Valley Head this weekend.
They pulled away in the end. Yeah,
that might as well be the region championship. Let's
just be realistic.
They're 1-2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the closest team over here to us, Cherokee County Warriors, just did a video with Jacob Cornejo. Congrats to him on their team being 3-0 at Cumberland Phoenix, scoring his first college touchdown. If you hadn't seen that video, flip over there on the old YouTube, and it's right there. It's about 20 minutes. It's not real long. He had stuff to do today, and it's just good to catch up and let him talk about life there and what it's like going from high school to college and being, here and everybody knows you to there, and like, it's different.
So he's already had a 100-yard game.
Yeah.
He rushed for 18,000 over here. I'm just kidding. Not right over 7. Didn't he end up with 6 or 7 career yards?
Like
7,000 already. I mean, that's Division II. That's not a bunch of chumps.
Yeah.
And he's already had a 100-yard game. I mean, it's just it doesn't shock me.
No, and he'll play more next year.
Yeah. I mean, I think
the guy ahead of him is a 5th-year senior, Jeremiah Bryant. He had some guns on him.
He's going to be a force. Jacob's just a good football player.
He's a great kid, and he does things the right way. And we're proud for him. Go over there and type in Cumberland on your search, and you can find the games.
Now that's in Lebanon.
Yeah, they'll be at home next week too, and they play Florida Memorial. They're 1-1 on the year. So, but Cherokee County also getting the win, almost the same score. There, 42-0. Coach Peavy comes in from Etowah, taking over coach down there. We said this last week. From what we hear, we just hear things. We're not making this up. From down there, people like what's going on at Etowah. Yeah. I mean, I know they're not winning, but they're being patient with him, and they like his background, his basis, and Coach Kelly and his dad know him from past from Georgia stuff, and Coach Kelly said in his interview with Bo for Average Joe's, you can find that catching up with Cherokee County. He goes there and does a little spot with them every week. He's a Coach Peavy's a gym guy. So he knows that's how you build a football team. That's where you started at. So, but it wasn't enough.
No,
because Tay Diamond showed up like he does every Friday night over there about 7:00.
Yeah.
And Tay decides to just run the ball 20 times and get to 200 yards. I mean, pretty much. I mean, he's about average 9.8 yards a carry. He's
200. Woods is 90. Woods probably already got it 500 this year. Diamond does too. Rush for over 300. Quarterback Griffith.
What was he?
He had 90 yards. 91.
Was it 5 for 11?
Yeah. 91. Of course, Frampton caught most of those. I'm just happy for Frampton. He caught 4 passes for 71. His stats 2 weeks ago were 6 catches for minus 27 yards. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, if somebody fill us in,
we don't know, and I'm sure there's a legitimate reason for it. But he doesn't run backwards when he catches the ball, so I don't know. And that's a shocking statistic. But I found out that was true, and I don't know if there was a punt went over the head and they threw it to him and he got tackled for a loss.
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something. He's better than minus 4.5 yards a catch.
He's Ben's a 100-yard a night guy.
He is. With his kickoff returns, he's an excellent kick return.
If he was at a small school,
oh my gosh, he'd be 1A, 2A player of the year.
Now we're not joking. Now, if y'all don't know, then I know you don't know.
Yeah.
We love Ben. He's always working out. All the guys are.
He's kind of the unsung. I don't think people think about him. And we got to stop Diamond. We got to stop Woods. I don't think they ever say we got to stop Frampton. That better be the one you watch out for.
I know. And he don't say a lot. He's like Tay. He's not like, hey, me. He just goes there and plays a game. And
I think he can play defense. Coach Kelly, I want to see him on defense. No, I'm just kidding, man. You know more about your kids than I do. Woods does play defense, though, doesn't he?
Who, Keyshawn?
Don't he start at one of those linebackers?
I think he does play corner some, or he'll walk down and help.
Okay. Of course, we know Diamond.
And we know Tristan Brown. Tristan's going to mash people's faces in.
Yeah.
He's going to make life hard for people. So 42-0, they get the win over Etowah. That's it's a good region win.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
And they're fixing to go on the road for 2 weeks. They're going to be at White Plains and then at Shades Valley. So I'm going to have to go over and check on them and go holler at them a little bit this week.
All right. That'll cover. Well, we got the Trojans now. Another good game. Another good showing by them. I mean, I thought Appalachian's good, and I've heard good things about
well, they were picked to win. And, you just kind of feel it turned out kind of like what most people figured it would.
Yeah, 20-14 late in the third.
Yeah.
And it ended up 33-14. I talked to Coach Knapp. He said their line's huge, absolutely huge. At Gillsville was able to have the ball most of the night and had over 200 yards of offense, most of it rushing, had 100 passing, and Hunter Allman had close to 100 passing.
Go
and,
Hunter. I love it.
Alex Beatty had 70. It was a tough night, but they got a week off. They can heal up. They played Valley Head and Appalachian back to back. That's two hard-nosed teams.
Good teams in those regions. They're really good opponents.
But I think Appalachian's going to get one of those spots, pretty sure.
Yes, I'd assume so.
Yeah.
But,
but now they're off. But like I said, 20-14 late in the third, and Appalachian pulled away in the fourth. So, I mean, everybody in the county's playing okay. I mean,
I think all the games that like Massey picks kind of who we thought would win or who it kind of turned out, we wanted everybody in the county to win.
Yes.
And we almost got that.
Yeah.
Almost. Cedar Bluff and Gillsville didn't get her done this week, and Gillsville will play their hardest opponent of the year, Bama Monster.
Idle.
Yeah. Idle's tough, guys.
Idle State.
You better be ready.
I mean, it's all right. You're beat before you get on the field with them.
Now Gillsville will be at Verbania. Sandrock will host Pleasant Valley Friday nights. Homecoming at the Rock. Cedar Bluff hosts Section.
Homecoming there too, I think.
Is it? Okay.
I think.
Center will be at White Plains, and then Spring Garden will be at the Fighting Hammonds over there with Jody and Aaron, and y'all should give a big shout out. Aaron, go over and hug him. It's his birthday Friday.
I think that's everybody's game of the
week. Go sing him happy birthday when you see Aaron on the field. Happy birthday. Just start hollering at him
right
and
there.
Stuff. Yeah, right in the middle of
during the game.
Yeah.
4th and goal. Happy birthday. I would think that's everybody's game of the week around this area.
Yeah,
I don't see how it couldn't be.
I'm going to try to get up there because I think that's a huge region game.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And I've been to we've been to a Spring Garden game, and I've got on schedule. I got a Sandrock game, and
you can't miss that.
I'll be at that game. Sandrock. I got it wrote down on my pad. I got there. I kind of got where I'm at everywhere, at least once, and some of them twice. Because Cherokee County is going to be gone for 2 weeks, and I've been over there once already. And so now, as we get some of the outer skirts teams where we've been, as it starts from the middle down towards the season, Cherokee County is going to be back home. They'll have Anniston over here. Definitely going to be at that one.
Yeah,
and they'll be at Hoax Bluff.
Big matchup.
Yeah, we've talked to Coach Sexton and Coach Rob, and he said just
3-0.
Come down and pull around the back, and we come in and hang out and talk to the coaches some, and we're excited for that game. And what I learned from high school football, Alabama, John Holder, Coach Short.
What's that?
Hoax Bluff. The Philly cheesesteak quesadillas. Concession stand of the week.
Good.
They got huge Philly steak sandwiches, barbecue nachos. So, Dean, we may go live at Hoax Bluff concession stand and see if Coach Short is wrong. Because I'm
sure
he's probably not, because that Philly cheesesteak quesadilla, and John don't partake in a lot of that stuff. He said it's the best thing. He said that's the best one I've had.
Philly cheesesteak
a restaurant wasn't as good as this one. He said it's fine restaurant. So they get like a $500 gift card from Johnson Food gives for them, and so they can use it by itself. So be looking forward to that video.
Oak Bluff with about a 22 or 23 point margin of victory per game so far this year.
Yeah, and we said back in the summer, hey, that's going to be
tough.
It's going to be a good game for Cherokee County to go down there.
Yeah,
and it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game, just like we said. And so that's kind of all our local scores. And now is the most favorite part of the show that everybody loves, Big Diamond Player of the Week. And we try to spread this around where everybody, all the schools get it at least once or twice. Sometimes they get it 2 or 3 times. Just depends on how the other teams are. So it's coming back around, and we'll try to start making our, circle with the teams. And it's some weeks it's kind of clear But the past three have just been
there's been a lot of guys with good numbers. I mean, you had Robinson with 175, Barber, Bates again with over 100 on the winning squads. Tay Diamond with 200. I mean, just a lot of good games again.
Yeah. But this week, Dean, who's our Big Diamond Player of the Week?
Well, this is going to give him his third. He's going to have more shirts for our show than we've got. And it's going to be Tay Diamond.
Yeah, Grant's Tay.
That's the third year. He's our first player to win it I'm pretty sure he won it when he was in the 10th grade. I know he did last year.
I know he did last year. I don't remember if he did or not.
I think he probably did. I mean, we don't have a record. I don't think we've wrote down, but I'm thinking he's won. This will be his third time. But he's an excellent player.
Yep.
And we knew he was a good running back, which he's already rushed for. He'd had over 1,000 career yards playing behind Jacob.
Yeah.
You know, and him and Woods, they're a force in that backfield.
Yeah. I mean,
and then we got Tristan Brown coming in too.
And then the young kid.
Wood. Is it Tyson Wood? No.
I know his daddy, Wright. He's a Wright. His daddy is. And
okay, but his name's not Wright, though, is it? Yes, he had over 100 yards against
he's
somebody.
Good, man. He's a shifty little old mouse back there bouncing around. Man.
But I don't know. It's Spurgeon.
Yeah, and they're going to have
Spurgeon?
A new quarterback here.
Yeah,
and there's another quarterback coming that's behind him that's good.
They say this one coming.
He's
generational. In basketball now. I don't know about football.
Like RPO, he's going to be like a Jalen Hurts kind of.
Yeah, Tatum Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all remember that name.
Yeah, all the Perry boys, y'all all know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
They put some good players through there.
I went golfing with Jesse one day. Jesse's decided to play football, and he's like, we were riding around. I said, you playing quarterback? Yeah. You going to win the job? He goes, no. Tatum Perry is our quarterback. So,
well, you can be a receiver then. Go catch the ball.
I think he's actually moved back to quarterback now because I think Tatum might have gotten moved up to maybe the JV.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, because Center's a big school. They have
you got a varsity JV, you got your middle school,
and then varsity. Yeah, it's a little different. Like Cedar Bluff, it's most times 7th, 8th graders play junior high.
Yeah, and
then you 9th grade if you can get in there, play a little bit of freshman year. That's great. But most time kids start in 10th grade.
10th grade, yes.
So congrats again, Tay Diamond. Great kid. Love him to death. Knowed him since he was a little boy. And I'll tell this story again. I'll embarrass him. I know.
He's a good player.
That 3 years ago, I'm pretty sure this is his second one. Because I remember him asking me, he said, I think I was going out of the fence. I don't know if Damien had won it maybe Damien had won it that year. And Tay was a freshman, young.
Ramsey.
And he said, how do I get one of those shirts? And I said, well, you keep working hard and you stay in the weight room and, stay in your books, make grades, and just keep doing what you're doing. I already knew. Well, everybody knows.
Well, yeah.
We knew him. We knew he was going to be a great player. I mean, we've seen him play forever. But I didn't want to build his head up too big.
No, you don't ever want to do that.
Right off the bat. So I just said, hey, just keep doing what you're doing, and you will definitely get one of these shirts one day. So
I'm looking to see if he's got his stats on the year on here.
Yeah, congrats, Tay. And
I think he's just excellent.
I'll be out there one day this week. Come see you.
I mean, well, he's making his mark on offense now. He could never play defense again, and he'd already have a Cherokee County stats.
Yep. Shout out to while Dave's looking at up our sponsors, Cherokee Eye Clinic, J.R. and April McKenzie. Make sure you find them too on Facebook or at turkeyeyeclinic.net. Give them a call today, 256-927-4030, and make your appointment for your eye exam now before it's too late.
Okay, before we do that, Matt, while Matt's talking, I'm going to figure up just see who our county leaders are right now.
Okay. Also, our number one main man from out there in God's country, Spring Garden area, Alabama, Mobley Concrete Construction. Go over on Facebook and just type that in, and you can see the jobs that he does. He guarantees his work. Good people, hardworking guys. Him and his son do this. Hot, 120 degrees or working or cold. Jerry and his boys get it done. 903-343-8581. Call Mobley Concrete and Construction and get a free estimate. And that's kind of that. Now,
all right, man, I do have some numbers here. Rushing. No, go ahead. I got to figure out passing right quick. This is just through 5 games.
Now, while he's doing that, we'll look at some scores this week. 1A football has some good matchups here. And here's a few from, a couple of different regions and stuff here all over the state. Wadley, again, 58-6 over Donahoe. I'm just going to go ahead and write them in. They're going to UAB. Okay, I'm going to UAB. Wadley. Wilkes is just nobody's going to be able to do that. You just can't do nothing for us. Valley Head takes care of business over Eider. Friendly competition up there on the mountain, has been for a long time. Shout out Taylor Dalton from the Tider Insider. Look him up on his podcast, Bum Pickens. And Taylor will give you his picks for the week. It's very interesting. It's funny now. Now he's not just straight serious. He'll put in some jokes in there. He was sick last week, guys. If y'all missed him, he'd had COVID, so he was out sick for the week. And he kind of jokes with his wife about something. It's funny. Just look up Bum Pickens. Shout out Taylor. It's good stuff. Marion County, 24-14 over South Lamar. Lynn, 6-0 over Pickens County. What a throwdown that had to be.
7-0.
6-0.
6-0.
Yeah, it's crazy. Leroy 27 to Sweetwater's 20. Elba 68-28 over Kingston. Berry 32-13 over Hubbardville. Well, we talked about Berry last week, and they're a team they just seem to keep winning every week.
Berry, that's the one we talked about, Frank the Tank.
Yeah. Also, shout out to A-Train Alvin Henderson. I hope he's watching. Tag him over there on Twitter. Auburn commit. In 2 games, I think he's got 1,100 yards and about 18 touchdowns.
In the last 2, 1,100 all-purpose yards.
I'm serious. He had another 380-yard game.
I know. So he had 435 the week before.
Yeah,
435 the week before.
10 touchdowns.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
They beat Kingston 68-28. So Elba Tigers and this McKenzie team, Deems, we got some games we're going to look forward to next week.
Yes.
He's going to talk about them here in a little bit. So who's our passing or rushing, and what's the scheme?
Right. Okay. Rushing. It's just something we will not do this every week. I'd say we can do it every 3 or 4, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that kind of give people an idea who's
you don't want to know it every week. Beatty leads with 475.
Rushing from Gillsville.
Tay's second with 440.
440 Tay.
Woods 437. Right behind him. I mean,
they both play at Cherokee County.
All right. 370 Kane Robinson. No, 400 Kane Robinson.
Sandrock.
Yes, Connor Bates 370, Jackson Tail 300.
Those 2 were Spring Garden.
Mm-hmm. And then Barber 540 leads the county.
Passing.
Ashley 350. Those are the 2.
Spring Garden, Sandrock.
Mm-hmm. Okay, receiving. I said he had 6 catches for minus 27 yards. Now he's got 16 for 268. Frampton.
That had to be
I think that was a misprint.
I don't think it's supposed to be a negative.
No. Welsh 14 catches.
So how many Frampton got?
268 already.
Okay.
Welsh 14 for 300. That's not a shock. Edmondson, Cedar Bluff 9 for 200. Now tacklers, Tristan Brown. Take a guess through 4 games.
I'm getting some news from they had pulled Tatum up. Oh, okay. They actually did pull him up to varsity.
Wow.
Appreciate the info.
Tristan, leading tackler in the county, 44.
No, I don't believe that.
That's bullcrap.
Not one of them old Brown boys from Alexis, Alabama.
Tyson Wood, 39. He's the other linebacker beside Tristan.
Yeah, him.
Timmy Dawson, Gillsville, 39.
All right.
Carson Chestnut, 35. Tay Diamond, 28. So Diamond's got 440 yards rushing and 28 tackles, and I'm sure 5 or 6 of those are behind the line.
Yeah.
When
I
do you
wonder what
think?
Caleb's got. Caleb had 12 last week and like 4 behind
Who's
the
that?
line. Or
It didn't. Well, let me look.
he had 12.
I didn't look past Tay. Sorry, y'all.
And then he had
He has
4 behind the line and 2 sacks. I think that's what
They've got him for 18.
18.
18 total
Wow.
tackles. Well, of course, he plays defensive tackle. Keyshawn Thomas, 18. Trip Davis, 20.
Wow.
Alex Beatty at Galesville, 23.
Hmm.
Carson Ray, 23. Jeremiah Miller, 8th grader, 17.
Oh, that's
Aiden Heinrich, 24. Cooper Allen, 24. And it's got some guys from Piedmont. They always stick them in the stats, which that's fine. I mean, that's good. Speaking of Piedmont, and we know Piedmont throws a lot to Raleigh Pinto.
mm-hmm.
But let's just see how much. He's caught 30 balls this year for 347 yards.
Okay.
And Ish has caught 19. So they've caught 49 balls in 3 games.
Yeah, we'll talk about them too. I'm
Yeah.
fixing to get on them too here for some scores and stuff.
I don't know what they did Friday. I don't even think they played Friday.
No, they were off.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about their game next week. Continuing on here, Dean 2A, Tuscaloosa Academy.
Mm-hmm.
Isabella played them close, 21-12. Real Town, shout out JB. Hope you're having a good evening. 48-0 over Rambrin.
Wow. And Rambrin nearly beat Mount Zion, Georgia a couple weeks ago.
Pisgah, 52-6 over Pleasant Valley.
Wow.
And our Goshen watchers, I'm writing you down. Goshen 40, Calhoun 8. Remember I talked about Goshen last week?
Yes.
They did beat Calhoun 40-8. Coosa Christian 42-0 over Faultville. The Conquerors still rolling around out there in 2A football.
42-0.
Now 3A. Here's the team here. Pay attention, people. Glenwood takes care of Childersburg 36-14. They have scored 143 and only have given up 70. It's Glenwood. That's the team that we're kind of everybody's kind of we got teams we kind of watch right now, and that's one of the teams we're keeping an eye on.
And Childersburg, I don't know if Matt knows this, but our old coach is coaching there with the line. Coach Bullen.
He's coaching the line?
Yes.
He's a quarterback guy. I mean, he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not saying he can't do it.
Right.
He could do anything.
Yeah, he's tough.
Oh, yeah. He could coach.
And I think he helps sometimes with the play calling. I don't think he's the OC, but I think he spots for the OC.
Yeah.
Hey, this looks
good. He's retired, and he probably don't want a lot of duty.
I wouldn't think so.
Jeff's done great things here in this county. We all love
we
Coach
love
Jeff.
Jeff.
Then Thomasville again. Right, you guys, y'all got to put a star by them. 64-6 over Sumter, and Sachs 26-20 over Weaver. That was a good game. I heard that game went down late.
64-6.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. Star by this team, Mars Hill 62 over Sheffield 0. JB Pennington, that game went to about 2:00 in the morning. 31-27 over Ohatchee.
What was the final?
31-27, JB Pennington. That game went real late. Very, very late.
I notice Ohatchee's improving on defense. So.
Yeah. JB Pennington's they're getting all their guys together this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I get some scores and stuff from one of the parents up there that helps me keep up with stuff down there. 5, they just went up there and got some beans and cornbread out of the great concession stands that they have at Asbury, 63-0. Collinsville 44-28 over Whitesburg Christian.
44 to what? 20?
Yeah, 44-28.
Oh, wow.
Bayside Academy, you gotta keep up with these guys. They won 33-0 over Monroe County. And here's another team we got stars by. That's Lee Scott team.
Yes. Boy, they're impressive. They're impressive.
They're going to be a tough out in this 3A.
Yes, they are.
24-7 over Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Anniston had lost to them last week.
Right.
6-8.
Yes. Yes.
So how good's Lee Scott?
Great story here. Rabbit hole. They come to play Cedar Bluff in 86. 10th game of the year, last game of the year. They come all the way up here. It's a long way.
Yeah.
Ref didn't show up. I don't know what happened. There was some kind of miscommunication. No ref showed up. They had to turn around and go back.
Who was coach? Danny Brown then?
Danny was.
Yeah.
I think he had to take the heat for it, but I don't think that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you send those refs out. You assign those guys refs.
Yeah, and this is back in, there's no cell phones or computers typing up internet.
There might have been a fax in or whatever, but they didn't show up. But I think he had to take the rap for it, but I just don't see that being his fault.
No, not especially. They have a board and they have games on a list.
Yes.
And probably back then.
And it would then scheduled the whole year. It wasn't one of them thrown together.
Yeah.
The last, hey, we're going to play this bunch.
You could probably now more easily get away with being a week or two out of a game and getting a crew together because it's so easy to get a hold of people.
Yes.
You can just text them on their phone.
Right. And
Twitter, Instagram, you can find people anywhere. But back then, I'm sure they sat down before the season and said, all right, Lou's coming to Cedar Bluff. Gary, Sean, Chris, and Dan, y'all got that game. Chris, you'll be up in the bottom. You know,
the story I always heard was they just didn't show up. And I don't know if it was something he did regularly, but he usually called the double check. But that week he just didn't, you know. It was senior night. And 6-3 year. They did good that year, but they didn't make the playoff, getting ready for that last game, and they just didn't show.
Well,
and there wasn't a game.
Well, they did show up and score a point. Lee Scott had 24 to answer them.
I don't know who technically won that game, man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What about Hanley? They played St. James. St. James got them 21 to 18.
St. James,
but that's a good. I mean,
it's very good.
They're a quality program.
Yeah, definitely.
Pleasant Grove 41-7 over Oak Grove. That was picked. Massey had them picked by about 20 or so. Mobile Christian staying on track here, beating Escambia County 13-6, and local game over here, White Plains didn't get a touchdown in. Oaks Bluff wins 31-0.
31-0.
What about that?
He said that White Plains gained a lot of yards. I talked to him. He said they had a lot of yards. They just couldn't score. That they tightened up in the red zone and played well. But he said that White Plains had probably about 260 yards on them.
Well, they got players. They've always had players over there.
Yeah.
Now Dora takes the win, 52-48 over Hamilton. Dashler again, 60-0 over Wilson. Booker T. Washington, 26-21 over Tallahassee. Played a close game. I heard that game went down kind of late, that Tallahassee had come back and scored later to make it closer.
Right.
Maybe had a chance to win it there late. More 4A action right here to go out of this. Some more closer teams. Big game up at Alexandria. Coach again. Anniston 40, Alexandria 16.
Wow. 40-16.
Yeah.
Alexandria has improved.
Well, yeah. Coach again is going to.
But it sounds like Anniston might have too.
They got players everywhere. Alexandria's going to figure it out.
And Alexandria usually does. I mean, Anniston usually does too.
Yeah.
Big matchup coming in a couple of weeks with Cherokee County.
They'll be up here, play Cherokee County. Jackson, quarterback Duckworth, and our Twitter running back over there, Zeke Criswell, the tailback at Jackson. The only
special.
I'll make sure I say this right. Y'all tell me. The only running back in the state that's in the ESPN 100. I think that's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Henderson's not?
ESPN 100 or 300.
Huh.
He's nationally ranked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. And long story short,
very high.
Cook had 212 again. So he went over 1,000. So he's got 1,060.
I'm proud for him, man.
And,
I love the family.
4 games.
I love it. I wish we could have. I know we've talked about this before. Our Cedar Bluff people, they move off, and what little teammates that like I'd been around, their kids, they didn't have a lot of kids.
No.
Like the Stars at Cedar Bluff.
No, they did not. They didn't have a lot of boys. They didn't. You know,
I mean,
people's like, where are these guys' kids?
I don't. They had either
Torrey
girls.
Jones moved to Rome.
Yeah.
Devin Clifton moved to Gadsden. Joey McElroy moved to Huntsville.
Yeah.
Eddie Smith had a girl.
He's got a boy, Dakota.
What grade's he in?
He graduated like a year ahead of Samuel.
Oh, yes. He came down here for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to school at Cedar Bluff. He just didn't care about football.
No. Howard Long's boy played for Pepper.
Oh, he was, but they're both the boys.
Yeah. Eric Corden had daughters. Harold had a boy but moved to Gadsden.
And the Myers, Kim and Robert,
Yeah.
they had some big old boys.
They moved.
They played football at Georgia. Did they play at Georgia Southern or they played college football?
Right.
So they're.
Oh, I know. You just, I mean, you can't help it if the former great players, Matthew Wilson, doesn't live here.
Yeah, because he sells insurance, makes $250,000 a year.
Now,
in Texas.
Jeremy Bryant's son is young.
They're young,
and
goes to school. Where's the job? I mean, where are they going to work?
I know.
Matthew Wilson can't make $100,000 around here.
No.
What's he? No, you move off to go get jobs. It's like Devlin did. Joey went up to Huntsville, and helps do it.
David Dorsey's not here.
He lives he's our Murchie guy.
Our Murchie.
That's where he was from. Him and Lee and Scott.
And you can't make a kid play. You have some of those guys that had sons that didn't play.
Yeah,
and some of them had sons that played and did well.
Yeah, Red, the twins played with Marcus. Mm-hmm. They all played together for a long time. Baseball.
Preston Burt played well. Jacob Burleson.
Yep, good player.
But a lot of guys that played football when me and Matt were in school and in the early 2000s moved.
Yeah. They just ain't no jobs around.
They didn't stay around here. Yeah. Jamie Hampton gone.
Yeah.
Josh Moten gone. Cole stayed around. I think they live
up here somewhere.
Ball play though.
Their kids, their boys are young.
Yeah.
So areas kind of come and go. And we was talking about that like with Jackson and down there, South Alabama, their kids are just bigger.
Yes, they are.
Sweetwater, Maplesville, Thomasville. And so Jackson takes care of business over Baker. Baker I thought they'd been winning kind of long.
Yeah, they
beat them 20-13.
Well, that was close.
Yeah, 5A Viger 30-14. Remember we was talking about that game?
Yes.
UMS, right?
Yes,
30-14.
Viger must be good.
Leeds won. They beat Lincoln 42-14. Gunnersville won this week 64-0 over Sardis. Corner. What is going on? Please, somebody help me on Corner.
They good again.
I think they're just smoking people. 22-8 over Ramsey. Starkey.
Beat Ramsey?
Yeah. come by and help me.
Huh.
Did somebody? I'm just. Please comment and tell me more about Corner.
Wow.
That Cherokee County played against Arab, right?
Yes.
They beat Brewer 41-28.
Yep, they beat.
So that makes Cherokee County's record just look better, right?
They beat them 3 touchdowns.
Andalusia wins 26-24. Close one with Greenville. That was a heck of a slobber knocker there. Showdown. And the last 5 or 6 games, 7, 8 games here. Saraland beat Spanish Fort. That's just a lot of kids playing football. 42-17. Oxford takes care of business 40-7 over Pinson Valley, Dean.
Wow.
Oxford.
I wonder if now Oxford's good. We know this.
Coach Adams.
But is there a chance that Pinson's not as good as they have been?
I don't know. I've seen Oxford play in person. And let me be the first to tell you, if you hadn't seen Oxford play in person,
they're for real.
They're smooth. That's the best word I can use. Shout out Coach Adams and Bunch. The offense is smooth.
I can't find it.
Offense is smooth. Defensively, they make stops when they have to. Moody played them well. That was probably the closest game they've had, which Moody's probably going to be favored to win 5A.
Yeah. I still don't see that happening.
Moody's good. They got a good team.
Yes, very good.
Muscle Shoals 42-7 over Decatur. Gulf Shores 28-10 over McGill-Tula. Fort Payne 14-13 for Southside.
Wow, Fort Payne.
And I was watching that score back and forth.
And Fort Payne's had some injuries.
Southside was ahead. when I had seen it, and I didn't look at it again until I left. So Fort Payne comes on back there toward the end. Clay, Chalkville 42 against Shades Valley, future opponent, Cherokee County, nothing, 0.
What was the score there?
42-0.
Okay.
Parker, team you've been looking at, 46. They beat Mortimer Jordan 46-0.
They play Carrollton this week.
Parker?
Juju.
Well,
It said Carrollton Trojans.
okay.
I
Well,
was kind of shocked.
Mortimer Jordan couldn't score on Parker.
Huh.
And Mortimer Jordan, they're a big school. They got
Yeah.
every time I see them on the news,
Well, they're 5A at least.
their linemen are big.
They've had some good teams.
Yes. There's somebody played down there.
I know that they.
Who was that played down there?
They rushed for 700 yards in a game one time.
It's not back in the 90s.
wouldn't know. I'm sure they've had some guys play at Alabama or Auburn.
I forgot.
Where is Mortimer Jordan?
It's right around Birmingham down there. It's in that
Right on the interstate.
circle.
Okay.
7A, Thompson takes care of business over Oak Mountain 42-7. Dean Prattville was 30, Tuscaloosa County 0. Mary G. Montgomery, the guys I've been looking at, 41 over Robertsdale 3. Hoover, Hewitt Trustful, 8-7.
Wow. Big win for Hoover, especially with what's going on. New coach for the second time in less than a year. Big that's big.
Huge mess.
That's a big win.
And shout out to I'll mess his name up. I'm sorry. Rocco Willis plays at Carver. He's a 2026 class or 27 class, commit to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
They win over Smith Station 26-7. Last, Auburn takes care of Enterprise. That's a game that you had said something about last week too. Yeah. They beat Enterprise 53-22.
I think Auburn's for real.
Yeah, that 7A is going to be it's just about that.
Yeah, it's Prattville, like small college ball.
Prattville, Auburn, Thompson, Mary G.
Right.
That's about all the ones I could probably think of. Now, Thursday night, we'll go back into some of these 4 games this area is going to play. Piedmont is at Westbrook Christian, and Collinsville is at Asbury. We'll dig more deep in them, and we'll talk about some games, other games Thursday night that'll be.
I got just some you can bring up. Arab Gunnersville.
Wow.
Which you mentioned that.
They got this is a chance. Arab's rolling along. I mean, besides the loss to center.
Yeah, which is considered a good team.
Yeah.
I think this Moody Helena game is going to be good. But my game of the week, Pennington at Locust Fork. That's a big one.
Yes. My contact down there said they're excited about the game.
That's a big game. I mean, Embry's back, I'm assuming, right?
I guess, because they played.
Did they beat Westbrook?
Yes, that game went till
he did play.
Like the power went off. Poor Steve just had a Coach Smith. It was a mess down there. Something happened to their power thing, and they had to start the game back. And then it rained. I don't know. They tried to delay the game, and it wound up raining on them anyway. And the power went out. And
I'm not laughing.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I am. But
Piedmont will be at Westbrook this weekend. Be a rematch. He'll get to play against his old counter foes.
But I mean, I think that'll be a good game. Pennington, and another one I saw was McKenzie and Florala. Florala might be a good one. Elba and Brantley be a good one.
Oh,
I would think.
Well, I don't know.
Brantley undefeated.
Elba's
losing, but they're not. I mean, they're losing a good
just
team.
Smoking people. Elba's just. I mean, he's just on the daggum. Like there's nobody out there even playing. He's averaging 300 yards a game. 400.
Yeah. He's a leading rusher. So I went to school the other day, and I said, the Cook's a leading rusher in the nation. They said, no, some guy from Alabama passed him. And I'm like, well, I know who that
is. Yeah. He's at 11 or 1,200 yards right now. It's over 1,000. I'm 100%
he's got over 1,000. If he's played 4 games, he's got 1,000.
Well, he's had 1,000 the last 2.
Yeah.
900 something.
3,500 last year. So the last 18 games he's played in, he's averaging 250 yards a game.
Shout out A-Train. he's committed to Auburn right now, and we're going to do some college stuff. We'll
Yeah.
switch gears and take a break. And man,
College, very interesting yesterday. Very interesting.
Auburn, Alabama, Georgia. I got plenty to say about them. Plenty. Y'all want to come back and hang out with us. And second part of the show here brought to you by good old people at Warrior Gym. So y'all hang out just a second, and we'll be right back. Hang on. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is the college portion of the show. We're going to talk about some college football, talk about some Alabama.
Yeah. Good day. I thought they looked good. We'll get into that in a minute, but I thought they looked very good.
Georgia.
I know you thought they looked good, didn't you?
Bama, yeah. Yep, they're much improved. They're a team on a mission. It's good to have everybody in there and playing at a high caliber football that they're capable of.
Yes, I agree, 100%.
West Virginia and Pitt, Dean, the Civil War. This game's been up and down, back and forth, and
it was like that in the game, wasn't it?
From 2005 to 2023, Pitt is 0-72 when losing by 10 or more in the fourth quarter. Well, last year and this year, 2-0.
Okay.
So Pitt takes care of business, 38-34. First Power 5 school to come back from a double-digit fourth quarter deficit in back-to-back games since 2008 Arkansas.
Wow. Pitt. You remember the one year they kept upsetting everybody?
Yeah.
They didn't have a great year. They went 8-4, which is good.
It was one of those
years. They beat
years.
like Clemson, and they beat Penn State.
Yeah. Peanut Gallery. Jeff says Juju does play. Parker, yeah, they do play. Scottsboro 45, Douglas 14. Texas deserves to be number 1. Georgia defended their honor against Kentucky, typically SEC rival game. Yeah, and it shouldn't be. It's just ridiculous. Logan, what's up? Tennessee putting every FCS, no name MAC, and bottom of the barrel ACC teams on notice. Yeah. Well, I mean, they did beat North Carolina State on neutral site. Tennessee's, I mean, they
51-10.
Yeah, I mean they did beat a quality team.
Yes.
North Carolina's is quality as win as Alabama beat Wisconsin.
Yes.
Right.
Well, technically, if you want to go by quality, right now Alabama has 1, Texas has 1, Ohio State none, Georgia has 2. And now I know they didn't look good against Kentucky, but they have considered that is considered a quality win.
Yeah, they're a major program,
and so is Clemson. Mm-hmm. Alabama has 1. I don't know yet. South Florida could end up being a quality win for Alabama. What do you think? It's not right now.
Yeah, their schedules plays out fairly well for them,
but it
does.
Could end up.
Their schedule does,
which could help down the road. Could it not?
No, sure. Yeah, when you start doing strength of schedule and that kind of stuff, absolutely.
Yeah, but no, Ohio State yet does not have a quality win yet.
Well, they're not going to. I mean, if you looked at their schedule, you'd see that they hadn't really. That mic is. I don't know if I hit that button or. Okay, they have played some teams, but we did their schedule back in the summer, and Jeff, we poked fun. He poked fun with us.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play nobody.
Right.
I mean, yeah, Miami, like they won this weekend. They beat Ball State.
Well, see, and we don't know that Florida's going to be considered a quality win.
They're fixing. Oh yeah, they did have an emergency meeting.
Yeah, I saw that. I read that. You sent it to me.
I
don't know. I mean, they knew this coming in that their schedule was horrible.
What are they supposed to do?
I mean, they're down from the start. All they hear is about how you play. These boys don't want. I mean, I'm not saying they don't want to play, but they're already starting behind the 8 ball. And
the NCAA ought to be ashamed of themselves. The NCAA. You can't let these kind of schedules go out. Have you seen Ole Miss schedule?
Oh,
how do they get that?
Yeah,
and then Florida get this? How?
8 ranked teams.
That's not right.
That's maybe up to 9 now because I don't think Texas A&M was ranked when they said that. I'm telling you,
I don't like it.
They're defeated in their mind a little bit because all they hear is you got the toughest schedule. You'll be lucky to go 5-7.
But the president is stepped down or something last year. So with having a new president, you know how that goes.
They may get rid of Napier.
Like you get a new principal, usually you're getting a new coach.
But I don't know that it's necessarily the right move.
Well, here's the thing.
But they're going to play schedules like that. Heck, they better bring Nick Saban and Bill Belichick in.
Well, yeah. And here's something to kick around. You can talk about the Florida game while we're talking about it. Going in, the whole problem with Florida was you had to have a guy that could recruit against Kirby and Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Nick's gone now.
Mm-hmm.
DeBoer is a nationwide type recruiter.
Right.
He's not going to win the state a lot right now. Freeze has won a lot of the kids in the state. Now, not all the kids in the state are ranked in the top, 300 of the nation or 200. There's some. So Billy, you could think he could just come in and recruit fairly well and win 7 games a year and he would be okay. But, I mean, what do they want him to do? They let this schedule go out of them maybe winning 6 games. Maybe.
Great job if you win 8.
And you going to fire him?
Yeah. You know it coming in. The kids know it. You think they don't know it, you're crazy.
What is Napier supposed to do?
But what they're mad about is this 310 yards rushing.
Well, fire the coaches. Go ahead.
488. They only gained 300. Rush for 52. I mean,
why didn't they start DJ?
Huh?
Why didn't he start DJ?
I'm trying to. Well, Mertz ended up. He did start DJ.
Oh, he did.
Then he pulled him. He threw 2 picks. Mertz threw 1. Mertz had a better game than. You want me to be honest with you? I don't think they've got the players yet.
No, it's the same problem at Auburn.
I just don't think they've got the players yet. And to compete with the schedule, let me tell you something. The schedule they've got, Danny Werfel and all them wouldn't go undefeated. The one that won it in 96.
No, there's no way.
Mm-mm.
They ain't no way that, yeah, I mean.
The team that won it in 96.
Could Tebow and them undefeat this schedule?
I don't think so. No way.
Not undefeated.
No.
They didn't even undefeat the schedule they had the next year.
No, they didn't.
They lost to Ole Miss.
Yeah, because that's when he made his speech.
You'll never again see another player that work as hard as me. He's driving his team as hard as I'll drive this team. We will not win another football game.
And he held up that. I mean, they lost another game, but he held up
Bama
his part.
Took him down there and spanked him.
Yeah, but he played hard.
Tim cried down there. We loved it. Alabama.
Yeah, they made the biggest deal out of that. But I mean, he was upset.
I didn't make fun of him at all. I know what it means.
I didn't.
He plays with all his guts.
It meant a lot to him.
Yeah. AJ McCarron cried when they won, when they beat LSU that night.
He did.
Because he was so.
And that wasn't a meme.
Wound up.
I'm seeing what Florida's schedule is from here on out. I don't even want to look at it.
Here's an idea. Since we're talking about Florida, I didn't even watch. I don't know.
I didn't watch much of it.
A quarter, maybe.
But I do like Texas A&M. Their quarterback didn't even play.
I didn't even know DJ played. I was watching Graham played some, and I turned it. They're just. So what do you do at Florida? Fans, people listening around the world, what do you do? What do y'all do at Florida?
Well, listen, they've got Mississippi State and UCF. They have to win those two. Because then they got Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State. Florida State's not playing well. So that could be a win. Kentucky's up and down. That could be a win. Number 2, Georgia. Number 6, Tennessee. Number 1, Texas. 16, LSU. 5, Ole Miss. My God. You're saying the NCAA should have said no.
What are y'all doing to them? You know, this was his third year.
Third year. It's almost like they're trying to run him out.
Yeah. So what do you do? Okay. So what do you do if you're Florida? You're the president. Dean, what's up? Who's going to
see how the year goes? See how they fight.
So what is this meeting probably about? We're not happy, and we're probably going to be looking for your replacement through the rest of the year. So just be ready. If you don't win 6, we're going to give you your $28 million, and then you can go fishing.
I think maybe you bring him in because it's going to be what the fans want anyway, and you tell him your contract here depends on how you finish out. But you know the guy's working hard. I mean, I don't think he has the players.
No. Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing at Auburn. Very same thing.
No. I 110% don't think Auburn has the players. Not right now. I mean, they have in the past, but not right now.
So, but what coach is going to come in mid-season? What good coach is going to come in mid-season?
No, they don't need to do nothing mid-season. I think you need to leave him alone, but I don't know if they will.
So what do you? I mean, what do they expect? What's the expected? What do you even do?
They've been getting drilled. 33-20, 38-10 to Miami, and that's not been well received. I think this might not be going on if that game had been 23-20 and Miami had beat them 28-17, But
488 total yards.
That's a lot of yards. Without Wegman in there.
Yeah, he didn't play.
Which that other kid's good.
I seen him go and play, and I thought, well, he's not terrible.
No, he's good. You told me that, and you were right.
Graham threw for 200.
He did. Off the bench. He actually helped them make that score more respectable.
Well, they're having problems running the ball. You noticed a lot of teams are having problems running the ball?
Yeah, Colorado.
They ain't got no players. They didn't have a lot of penalties. That speaks for a team if you don't have a lot of penalties. They did that threw 3 picks. That don't help. 22 minutes possession. They throwed it for 249, but, what is that worth?
They just don't have big-time players, I'm telling you, to keep up with the schedule they're playing.
Let me ask you this, and we'll go to another game. Now, Urban is the one that He's the second generation that set the tone at Florida.
Mhm.
Steve was the first.
Yes, definitely.
Do you bring in? I'm just thinking while I'm
Do you
looking
bring Meyer back in?
Yeah, well, I'm looking at that. I'm thinking about you're not going to get a coach from a team. So I'm thinking about desk guys that do this talking on Fox Nation, Game Day.
Right.
Nick Saban's not coming back to college football.
No,
Somebody said the other day he may be interested in who was it? Michigan. Michigan State or it's just blabber.
Yeah.
He's 72.
No, he's not coming back. I wouldn't think.
He owns a car dealership. He makes crap loads of money. Bama even pays him about $400 or $500 just to be around the office to be a special analyst at Alabama. And
he acts like he loves.
And then he's making crap loads at ESPN with Game Day. He's up there dancing on Saturday. He wants to leave that and go back under stress and keep up with Portal and kids and money.
Yeah.
No. Why?
He's already proved everything.
He don't have to prove anything. So, yeah.
I don't think he's left any stone unturned.
Do you go get Urban?
Possible.
And don't hire him as a coach. But, what made me think of this was, because I'm thinking about programs that were good programs that got into rest. But so what'd they do? Well, what they did was what Stoops do at Oklahoma. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
When
he helped.
Lincoln Riley left.
Riley left. Yeah.
He stepped in.
Yes, he did. They did well. I
They
thought
did.
They looked good.
They did. So can Urban come in and steady the ship after the rest of the season? They're going to let Billy go. And then Urban call in Dan to get him off the desk at Fox.
I think Dan Mullen should be coaching somewhere.
He should never fired him.
I think he should be coaching somewhere.
Why
I'm sorry.
They fire him from Florida?
That is a waste of a coach.
He won all those three. He won all his bowl games. He made it and he won them. Mm-hmm. And he didn't do so good the next year. 1-6.
Done.
They run him off. And to hire Billy Napier, Dan Mullen is a good coach. He had been there.
He's sitting up there 3 years now.
God,
3 years out of the game.
So
excellent. He's better than half the coaches coaching.
Well, the president that fired him is not there anymore.
Half the coaches coaching. Now, I'm not knocking him. He's just good. I like Dan Mullen.
Personally, seems kind of strange, but I'm probably strange to them too. He grew up different. I think he grew up in a real upper kind of.
I just don't think that's somebody that should just be an analyst. He's 56 or 57 years old.
They'd be like Kirby Smart, I'm just going to call games now.
And Dan Mullen's good at it. I mean, they hated him at Florida, and one year there they went 10-3 and was the only team to even play Alabama close.
I'm saying I'm gonna go call Urban Meyer first tonight after they have this emergency.
And they might win 11-2.
They did with the bowl win.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call Urban and say, hey, can you come down here? We'll give you, I don't know, $2 or $3 million. Come down here. You ain't got to do a whole lot. We're not asking you to really. You don't have to plan out everything or try to build a new staff. Or can you come to the campus, take over the coach's office again, talk to the players, and get stuff lined back up? Is Urban interested in that?
All right. 10-3 at Florida, 11-2, 8-4. So he's 29-9. Then he goes 5-6 and gets fired.
Yeah, but what happened to that 5-6 team? Go back and figure out what happened. Lost their players.
Mm-hmm.
The tailback that
I don't even remember anymore. I mean, these players.
I think he hurt his knee. Something happened like in spring, and he didn't. They thought he'd be a comeback to game 3, and it wound up not. Wound up like comeback game 6, and they'd already lost 3 of the first 6 games or something crazy.
I want to see what they finished these 2 years.
That year they lost 6.
Guys, he's finished 7th and 6th in the country, and he's not coaching anywhere because he had a bad season.
And y'all run him off. I'm gonna call Urban and see if he'll stay the ship.
What about Jimbo? I'm just asking.
That's not a crazy question. You're not the only person that said that. I've heard it
we
today.
Talk about Jimbo like he's trash. He's another one. He's had some good teams. I mean,
he's got a problem with.
Or do you just leave Napier alone?
I don't know if he can do it, man. I think his morale is just defeated. I don't know. Like, they're not going to give him a chance. So
They seem like a defeated team.
yes, and it takes a special kind of coach.
But I would blame that on the schedule.
Yeah, well, that takes a special kind of coach to get in there and get their idea and their mind out of who they're playing, because you don't play other teams on Saturday. You play yourself every game to get better every play. That's how you challenge yourself. That's how you stay out of these funks, because teams get up so high to play big rival games. And then they get so low when they're playing trash teams like the crap we've seen Georgia and Kentucky. Why? Because it's like this. You focus on faceless opponents, Nick Saban's philosophy for life.
Well, we're just too quick to fire. Dan Mullen, 34-15 with 2 top 7 finishes.
You're gone. See, buddy, get out of here. What?
That is an average of 8-4 a year.
You're gone. Dan Mullen can recruit.
It wasn't like they was burning it up before that.
And let's remind people.
Well, they were with my brother, but he went on. I mean,
let's remind people too what happened. What's going to happen if they fire him? What happens to the teams, Dean?
If they fire,
yeah.
Well, they're just going to be shell shocked.
And what happens to the team though?
If they fire him,
yeah. What's the rules?
Oh, nothing. You'll have to fill me in on that.
The team's open. You can transfer.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, that's why do you think they left Alabama? When Caleb Downs and them left? And
yeah.
Lost 30
You're
players.
Right. So they'll lose half their players.
What little bit Billy's got, decently. Their quarterback, he'll up and go. Mm-hmm. You don't think Auburn would be down there beating on the door trying to get DJ?
No, I would.
Well, Auburn needs a quarterback.
Yes. And they didn't. I like Hank Brown.
He's okay.
But they didn't find one yesterday. They found maybe a better.
Oh, get out of here. He played New Mexico High School.
I think he's better than Thorne.
But it's still hard to take. They ain't played anybody. The decent FBS opponent they've even played, they lost.
Mm-hmm. Callie's not bad.
I ain't going to get on. And I'm telling you something from a Auburn alum telling me my ears saying the D-backs are slow.
They give up 290 yards yesterday.
They're not smart on their decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And then friends are texting me during the game. And Antonio Kite, new boy, they're just like, bro, he can't cover. No, I mean, what's going on? Right. And I've seen him play in person. He is a freaking athlete.
Oh, he's a stud.
So what does it mean
mm-hmm.
at high school or college? You tell me. What does it mean when a kid does so at a school and then he transfers and goes somewhere else and he blows up? He's player of the week or, SEC. What does that mean?
Probably coach better, I guess.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn ain't developed a player. I don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
Terry Bowden, 93. I'm serious.
Yeah.
When has Auburn developed anybody?
Right. Been a while.
They better figure it out.
But
with Florida,
they couldn't.
With Florida, I just go call Urban. Just call Urban and see what happens. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt to give him a call. Come see if he can right the ship.
He may.
Civil War, Dean. Oregon State.
Wow. Not much of a war yesterday, was it?
49-14, Gabriel, 290. They had 546 yards of offense.
Good gosh. For the first time this year, they dominated a ball game. They looked like the Oregon they're talking about.
John had 3 penalties, too.
They barely beat Idaho. They barely beat Boise. I think those was wake-up calls. Oregon State's supposed to be better than both of those teams, and they beat them 49-14. There.
2 touchdowns, no picks. What was that? So 20 for 24.
20 for 24. Their running backs run wild. Oregon's good, but I do not think Oregon will win this national championship.
Well, 240 rushing, 306 passing. Yeah, we were kind of high on them. I don't know what's going on.
I just don't think.
Is Dan not the coach that we thought he was?
Oh, I think he's fine. I just think it's a new system. They lost too much. They lost a lot.
They did.
They lost their best receiver, best running back, and their quarterback. And, just fix it quick. Well, we'll just bring in Gabriel. Well, they ain't played with Gabriel
all summer. He's the best quarterback in the country besides Carson Beck.
Which I think they're both good, but I don't know about the best in the country right now.
Here's the best other game in the country.
Mm-hmm.
How about the old Apple Cup? Washington State quarterback John Mater, 3 touchdowns. From 1934 to 1961, it was called the Governor's Cup of the state of Washington.
No, you're talking about Washington.
Washington State 24, Washington Huskies 19.
Wow.
They just Washington is well. I knew it all summer. Lost all their
They
team.
lost a
The
lot.
coach leaves. All the coaches leave.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he supposed to do?
You can't expect them to be very good.
No.
I'm sorry, you can't.
What do you want them to do?
And now what? Tell me if I'm wrong. Washington State and California is only 2 teams in the Pac-2, right?
No, they're adding. I shared it the other day. I've only shared it once though. They're adding 5 or 6 teams. This is going to be the Pac-12 again.
Okay.
But it's like some of the Mountain West, and it's going to be like
Boise.
Boise. They're trying to get Utah to
UNLV, Nevada, some of them.
Yes, Fresno State. Make sure it's going to be the smaller teams,
but good teams.
But if they could keep Utah, that'd be great.
State.
Yeah, Utah would be a good draw.
I get Wyoming in there too.
Yeah, they're good. They're not a bad program.
BYU. BYU's already.
I would love to get North Dakota and South Dakota State up to FBS and put them in there.
It's not a bad idea. I don't think it'll happen
because they'll take less money. That's why I'm asking for those small teams. Because these big teams, Utah's going to want money.
Yes.
Because if they'll say, "No, we're Big 12, bro," they're dropping $20 million on our step every year. We're going to come over here and you're going to drop us $8 million, and then when another pandemic happens again, we're going to shut the whole football stage. No games. Everybody else in the nation is playing, making money. No, you got to get a jab before you can even walk in the stadium.
Yeah, have to show them a card.
That's why there's no Pac-12 anymore because of politics.
Exactly. I agree with that.
LSU, South Carolina. Please tell me.
Game. That was a good game.
What did you love about it? 36-33. The Fighting Kellys take care of old Beamer ball. I was pulling for South Carolina.
You know what I like about it, which I probably go carry on about him too much. I like Nussmeier. I like the way he plays.
I do too.
I think he's a fantastic quarterback. It's just, which he had to sit behind Daniels. This guy should have been starting somewhere before this. But not there. You can't start him over Daniels. I mean, how do you say, okay, Jaden, go take a bench?
No. What are you going to do with him? I mean, Jaden Daniels was great.
And I thought Rocket Sanders had a great game. He had 140 yards. Nussmeier, 285. Their running back played good. I saw yesterday that they didn't really have a running back, but they had one show out yesterday, and I don't even know his name.
Caden Dunham.
What do he have?
100 yards.
Okay. I know he had some long runs. And Kelly's 2-1. He's had to fight.
Oh, look where he played high school football. This is why I love what I do. I like doing this.
I mean,
we like doing this, right?
Yes.
You know the part I like doing the most. I always wind up going back to high school stuff.
Okay, where did he play?
Duncanville. No wonder he's good.
Yeah.
Go find his highlight. He's a 4-star coming out of Duncanville High School. He's 5'9", 205 pounds. He's a prototypical athlete of a running back.
Hey, is it not about time we give a shout out to Shane Beamer a little bit? I mean, 2 years ago they beat Clemson and Tennessee.
He's a good
nearly
coach.
Beat Notre Dame, and now they beat Kentucky 31-6. Nearly beat LSU. I just think he's doing a good job there.
Well, they give up 285 on rushing, but you got a kid from Duncanville High School. Let's see about old Caleb Jackson, Dean. You don't know where he was from? I mean, since we're just looking at the other scores, we're just going to run through them anyway. Let's see where this other tailback's from. Oh, he's from he played high school ball in Louisiana.
So he'll be okay.
Liberty Magnet. He's another 4-star. He was nationally ranked number 10 in the nation. The second team running back at LSU.
Right.
Jackson.
But they've had trouble finding one, and I think yesterday they did.
He was number 10 in the state.
That's still good.
He was ESPN 300 running back. Caleb Jackson. A receiver, Anderson, had 100 yards, 19 average.
Yeah, I saw that. That he played at Alabama. Well, he signed there. He never did play there. He got hurt, transferred. Where's he? He's from Florida, I think. Isn't he?
New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
High school, Edna Carr. Another 4-star, ranked in the top 50 nationally.
Anderson was?
Yeah.
Well, see, he's his main guy. Him and Lacey, Kyron Lacey.
No, he looks like a football player. He's
Yeah.
only 5'8".
Yeah, he's not very big.
Wow.
That's why I
Okay.
like throwing him. LSU's a little better than I thought they were.
Get your groove on there.
They're still giving up a lot of yards, though. Have
Get
you
your
noticed
groove
that?
on. I know.
How many yards does South Carolina gain?
398, 400 yards.
Hmm.
What's the problem then at LSU?
I don't know. I don't think maybe Kelly hadn't recruited a bunch of defensive players. He's getting his offense going, maybe defense next. The offense has been fantastic the whole time he's been there. Nobody can deny that.
Well,
But they struggled on defense. Maybe you can't have both.
Well, they got the defensive coach from Missouri.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, USC had about 450 yards against them. Now 400 against their average, and they're giving up about 400 a game.
You think it's just youth?
Could be youth, and I think the offense scores quick.
Yeah, see,
They're out there a lot.
People don't think about that. That game against
well, especially last year. They
Bama.
were ridiculously good last year on offense.
Bama's the worst second down offense in the nation. They cannot.
Yes.
If you can get Bama, just give them to mess up. If they just get 5 yards on first down at second and 5, they're not getting first down.
Mm-hmm.
If it's second one, they'll blow it. Somebody will drop a pass.
They're going to have a third down. And they're probably going to get it on third.
And that makes a difference for the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Bama punts every opening drive of just about every game I've seen of them for years. There's every once in a while they'll if they play New Mexico State,
they're going to score
the opening drive.
Mm-hmm.
So LSU, South Carolina, look, once Sellers went out, that's it. Ball game's over. That's it.
I mean, like we said, Ashford didn't do anything wrong.
He's not good. He don't need to ever. I told when he left Auburn, don't ever give him the football. He needs to be catching it or running it.
Yes, I think he can run.
Absolutely.
But Sellers is a game breaker.
Can't do it.
Game breaker.
Yeah. You can't take a guy like that out of the game.
No. I mean, I know they must have had to. I don't know that they would have won. I don't know if LSU would have won.
If Sellers stays in, I'm on.
But LSU still got some problems defensively. Not as bad as last year, but they've still got some issues. It takes a long time to fix. Rome wasn't built in a day.
No.
Rome, Georgia wasn't even built in a day.
So. 2 days. Auburn 45, New Mexico 19. Brown did throw for 2 touchdowns. They had 500 yards a day, and they rushed for nearly 300. Hunter had 150 rushing touchdown. Alston had 80 yards and a touchdown.
That's the key. They run the ball.
Yeah.
It opens up their passing.
Georgia there. That's how you play football. When is the last time? I mean, is it hard to freaking figure out that how you run the football? You have to throw it, but you have to run the ball to set up the pass.
Yes.
It don't work the opposite. I just don't think. Maybe I'm just old. I don't think you run the ball. I don't think you just throw it to set up the pass.
No, to set up the run. No.
I mean, does it?
I mean, I didn't think that's how it worked. You run first, and you get them coming up, and then you dump it over their head,
I know. Yeah, you want to run the ball and then throw it out and see. In 2026, they're adding 4 schools. What are you talking about, Jeff? Remind me here. Remember Travis transferred from Florida to Georgia. Yeah. What, you talking about 4 new schools?
In the Pac-2, right?
Yes. Yeah. Boise, which is great. So I kind of griped on Auburn a little bit to the show. Look,
they did play.
It is what it is. They're going to come in. They got Oklahoma next week.
Mm-hmm. No, Tennessee plays Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I don't know who Auburn's got this week.
I just looked at it.
Let's see.
Arkansas. Yes. Auburn has Arkansas coming to town.
Playing better than people thought.
Tyler Green can cause some harm to Auburn. Does Arkansas have a shot to beat Auburn? Absolutely.
Yes, 100%.
And coming from, again, graduates from Auburn, I'm not just picking on them. I don't have to say it. I've said this in June. I just did a whole breakdown on their D-backs.
Mm-hmm.
And I give you the list. I even showed their names, what quality they were, and I said they're okay. They're just young and they ain't played a yacht, and they're not real good. And that Scott, he hadn't had a good year so far, really.
Right.
And if they put him back, keep returning punts, Blaine Crane said he's going to jump off his balcony. And these guys they run Craney Company show, and they're huge Auburn fans. Their daddy played down there. Okay, he's going to jump off the balcony if they don't just. You got people in the wrong spots, and maybe they figured some stuff out Saturday where they can put people. They're just inexperienced in places.
Right.
Bama does have some inexperience in D backfield too. I said the same thing.
Alabama gives up a lot of yards.
Did they get burned on some? They have, but the guys they do have are 5-star freak athlete guys, like Macumba and them. Red Morgan.
Right.
Malachi Moore, and he'll be back. I think he's just they're going to put him under concussion protocol.
Yeah, he made 7 tackles yesterday.
He got his head bumped yesterday. So he'll be okay. Milroe, Alabama Dean, I'll mention this. We'll talk about Alabama 42-10 over Wisconsin. Made a great showing.
Look good.
This is the first time since I always mess these up. 2000 and something. It's been a while, 10, 15 years. 2 touchdowns throwing and 2 running in 3 consecutive weeks with 200 passing and 100 rushing and having 2 throwing and 2 rushing.
Yeah, 271 yards yesterday.
For 3 weeks in a row. Nobody's done that since Johnny Manziel. And before him, Tim Tebow.
I think Milroe's exciting. I think he's got to be a Heisman candidate. I'm not saying he's got it.
No, way too early.
Yeah,
way.
But I think early. You got to have him in your early.
Those stats that I just give you, that he's in company with Heisman people.
Yes.
Okay. Now, can he continue this when they run into stiffer competition? I say yes, and his opportunity is coming in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
If Milroe throws for 250 and rushes for 100 and is 15 for 21, that's probably a Heisman game.
Yeah.
Very likely.
If he has to have a good game there, they'll pump him up as it. Miller had another good game, 70 yards. And I've noticed that Williams and Bernard are emerging as his go-to receivers.
Yes. Tell us about Bernard. Wow.
3 catches, 55 yards, all pretty much back to back to back. That's the Washington transfer. He's done well.
Hey, look, man. I love it when you see a guy that's hot. Keep throwing in the ball.
He kept throwing it to him.
Jeff says, by the way, thank you for Caleb Downs now playing with Ohio State. Yeah. He's the only – I don't want to say the only transfer that's worked out, but like Roy Dale, I think he had 6 yards.
Yeah,
rushing.
They're struggling.
He had 6
Florida
yards.
State's struggling as a whole.
Milroe.
Bond's doing pretty good.
Yeah, I figured he would. But the team altogether, Dean, for Bama, they altogether it looked better. They dominated rushing. They dominated in the pass game, and they didn't have but 4 penalties.
Right. They played sharp. They did give up a few yards.
That's okay.
But, I mean, Wisconsin had some real good runs. I thought Wisconsin's ground attack was good.
It always is.
And
when is it not?
But, I mean, you grab off a 30-yard run, you put your hat on the ball, you cause a fumble.
And that's that Bama break.
Yeah. And, I mean, I say it's a break. Tyler Van Dyke going out's a break. But I still think they would have won.
Well,
I think that might have been.
Tyler Van Dyke don't play defense.
Right.
He can't cover Ryan
they
Williams.
Still scored 42.
And what?
It might have been 42-20 instead of 42-10.
What's the problem with Law? Are they just not going?
I hadn't heard much out of Law.
Are they just not going to play?
I didn't see him in there much. Did you? I mean, it's mostly just Bernard and Williams.
I mean, I seen him running around.
Prentice didn't catch it. Did Prentice catch a pass yesterday?
Let's see here. Prentice catch a pass yesterday. Let's see here. Tell you in about 3 seconds. Williams 78, Bernard 55,
Mm-hmm.
Cuevas 36, Justice 16, Odom 16, Rico Scott 2, Manuel Henderson Jr. 1 for 10. And he
threw to him twice. He threw him on a deep ball.
We gotta keep eye on him because I don't know if he hurt his knee. He's useful. I don't want to see him out.
A fantastic run.
I don't want to see him out. He's on injured right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's knee or ankle or so. Y'all keep eye on. I'll keep eye on through the week.
They swung the ball out to him, and he had people all around him, and he got 10 out of it. Of course,
Jam 71.
Jam and Haynes they're tough. What did Haynes have?
17.
We caught the ball too.
And Ty wound up -6. When your second team quarterback gets to play some, that's always good. Daniel Hill 8 yards. That's another guy.
Linebackers look good. Campbell, what did he have? 8.
Yeah.
Lawson 7. Moore 7. So I like Sabb. I do like.
Boy,
Sabb.
He's having a good year.
Had 2. I like Overton. He played good.
Oh yeah, Ovaltine. That's what they call him. I think they call him Ovaltine.
He played good. I don't think their defense is great like it was, but I think they can get the job.
Well, I tell you what, that's a good point. I think
they play hard.
I think that defense is offense. It seems like something that you figure out over time through the season, and defense seems like something that happens pretty quick because you're just attacking the ball. I think it's kind of swapped these past few years because kids are so ready to play football. These receivers work year round in the summer, catching, throw that up, coach. Let me catch. They're constantly working on this stuff. I think wait till Bama about week 6 or 7.
Be all right on defense.
5 or 6. I wonder who they play.
Well, they're not giving up a lot of points.
I say by what week is this? This is 4 coming, ain't it? They're going to be all 4, 5, 6. They better. It'll be a good time to hit their stride against Georgia.
Yeah.
But I think the Georgia game, if they can pull out a win, I think that'll be a great wake up help. You're playing a good team.
Yes.
Okay. Playing a good team. So Bama gets a win 42-10. Happy about that. I mentioned this when Mizzou 27-20. Boston College was beating them.
Boston College is good, apparently.
What's going on?
I mean, that Castellanos, their quarterback's good. Missouri had to fight for that.
Yeah.
They had to fight.
I know.
I think Boston College is actually decent.
Notre Dame 66-7. They bounced back after a crappy game. I still don't have any faith in them.
They're already talking about firing him. I mean, give me a break.
Urban Meyer said he would take that job. Oklahoma 350 total yards against Tulane 370, 34-19. Tulane played them good for a while.
They did. They came back.
I watched some of that game.
That was a blowout.
Yeah.
And they came back.
Well, he see homeboy, Mincy at Tulane. Threw for nearly 200, but he went up throwing a pick later there, and that hurt him. Jackson Arnold, 18 for 29. I think it was a fair day. He rushed for 100, though.
I don't think they're great. I think they're good.
Burks had 80.
They can sneak up on you.
That's their guy. Burks is –
he's a running back.
He's the receiver. He's
special.
Electric. Let's see where he played that day. Now, since we're doing – where did they play that contest? He played at Deion Burks, wide receiver, Oklahoma. He's from Belleville,
Alaska. No, we're kidding.
He's a 4-star kid, nationally ranked overall number. He's a top 50.
Where did he play at?
Belleville. Belleville, MI. That's
Michigan.
That's Michigan, ain't it?
Yes.
It ain't Mississippi. Mississippi's MS.
And then Missouri
Maine
is M-O-M-E.
Maine is M-A.
M-E. Massachusetts, M-A.
Yes. So
a lot of people get that mixed up.
I do. I remember taking on test Coach Howard's class. Golly, it used to kill me.
Yeah, you got all them in.
I had a cheat sheet. I'm sorry, Coach Howard. I cheated on that test. Like I had a little piece of paper about this big.
So Michigan's M-I, Maine's M-E, Massachusetts M-A.
So he's a 4-star guy. We're talking about
Missouri's M-O.
Deion Burks at Oklahoma. He's a football player.
Yeah, he is.
big time football player. And Colorado, they
got off the schneid there.
Yeah, they did. And 28-9 over Colorado State. They had 340 yards. Colorado State did, and 419 yards for Colorado for Coach Prime and Bunch. 100 yards rushing. But they had 12 flags. It was a little chippy.
Too many.
It is. And I know as Bama fans, they know that's a lot. That is a lot of getting jacked up. Jacksonville State, boy, they played close to Eastern Michigan.
I know. Lost 0-3, right?
Yeah.
But look who they played.
They ain't beating Louisville in those teams. They're scared. This is different, guys. They're FBS
Coastal
now.
Carolina, Louisville.
You ain't beating them. You got to have some dudes.
Yeah.
You better get up because, I mean, you see how South Florida played with Bama.
Mm-hmm.
There's some players in these small schools.
Oh, yeah.
Smaller FBS schools.
Big time.
And we can get on this one and we'll get off here.
I know which one you're fixing to mention. The big one.
Go ahead and break it down.
13-12.
What the crap? Burge. I talked to Burge last night.
About as unexpected.
Burge said his fingers were all bleeding. He's completely chewed through his fingernails.
Do you know what the over-under was on Beck's passing yards?
No.
250. You know what he threw for? 160.
I was going to say 150.
Nobody saw this coming. They had 262 yards. They had 65 at halftime, Matt. What in the world happened?
Well,
is Kentucky really good?
No.
What Uncle Lou says they're not, but we know they've got a lot of players back.
That don't mean nothing. Virginia Tech does too. They can't beat nobody.
Yeah.
No. Anybody at Vegas that would vote on that, how are you booking that game when you know we just watched 15 minutes? Uncle Lou, big Georgia fan, he's got a YouTube channel, old Booger Boy is what I call him. They do that. Last year they blowed them out by 40 at Georgia, but when you go back and look again, it was like 16-6.
It's always close.
One year when Kentucky won 10, they beat them 34-13.
Yeah, they hammered.
But other years like 21-16 or 17-13. Or
is there just a possibility they're not taking the game serious? They beat them 15 years in a row.
But it's different guys.
Well, exactly.
It's not. I mean, we're talking about it's different coaches, different quarterbacks. What is going on with Georgia?
Curse.
Yes, I'm not.
A lot of people think Kentucky should have won.
I do.
They came close.
4th and 8, 4 minutes in the game.
He punted.
What do you do?
Your defense has played so well. You got to think you're getting that ball back, probably.
And if you get the first down, that 8 yards puts you in field goal.
I don't think they would have got it.
Hey,
but
what if they get a PI?
I did hear a good point that somebody made. Bill McBurnett has, we know Bill real well. He said, you're supposed to lose anyway. What do you got to lose by?
Yes, that's why I'm going.
That was a good point.
You're playing number 1. You're not supposed to beat Georgia.
But I know Stoops like, man, we smoked them all night. And I'll give Beck credit. He hit about a 35-yard pass right out the gate.
Yep.
I mean, huge. He won the game for them.
160.
They had 262. ATN 79.
He was 15 for 24.
Yeah. He didn't throw a pick, though, did he? And the defense, Georgia's defense played fantastic.
What about?
But they did get run on. They played fantastic against the pass.
Well, Vandergrift was 14 for 27.
Soups is taking some heat today for throwing too much.
They
thought they should have run it more.
They only had 4 flags. Georgia had 9. Georgia had the ball 24 minutes. Kentucky had 23 first downs.
Gosh.
How do you not win that game?
It's Georgia.
Look.
They survived it.
23-12? You should have smoked them. They should have been ahead 2 touchdowns.
Well, field goals. They never scored.
Georgia punted 6 times.
Let's say that's Ohio State. They score 3 of those times touchdowns, and it's 27. It's 27-13.
Punts 6-4. I mean, you just look at this, and if you didn't know the score, you'd go, well, which team won? Well, let's say they had the ball more. They got way more first downs, 9 for 16 on third downs, not bad. They run 73. They run 20 more plays than them.
That turnover, though, look at that turnover.
One.
I mean, did that? And they lost by 1.
That did cost them the game.
I mean, I wouldn't think so.
But if I'm doing this,
Mhm.
who you gonna say? I'm saying the blue team. I don't even look
Yeah.
at the score.
Yeah.
It's, this blue. What? They lost by 1. So do you go for it on that?
I can see where he wouldn't. I can. There was a lot of time left, and he had all 3 timeouts, and they'd stopped them all night, but he wasn't. You know, Beck didn't play good, but he did on that drive.
But you know they're going to do that. I knew it when he was lined up to punt. I said, Sylvia was watching. She's screaming in there. You know, she was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in here. I'd done come here, started doing some notes because some other games got boring. And I could just tell by her, you know, booing or excitement. She was a Kentucky fan last time.
Oh, yeah, big time. Probably more so than my mom or something.
Yes, absolutely. And I go back in there and look, and I went back in there a few minutes before that, and I'm like, well, as soon as he said he's going to punt, I said, they lost the game.
I didn't think of that like that.
He just lost the game.
But I understand where you're coming from.
He just lost the game.
I can see both sides.
You don't give them the ball. You know, that's what teams like them do. They are so much deeper than Kentucky. They're not supposed to lose to Kentucky. They ain't. When's the last time Georgia's even lost up there? 1974?
I don't know. It's been a while.
The same time, probably the same year Auburn beat Georgia at Georgia, 1981. Probably when Bo played. Auburn beat Georgia up there.
Georgia has their longest play of the night on that drive.
Of course.
And actually fumbled on that drive and recovered it for a first down.
That's what teams like that do.
Yeah.
That have the coach like Nick was at Bama.
Mm-hmm.
They just somehow, Jake Crane says it best, winning teams just somehow just figure out a way to win.
And they did.
Auburn should not have ever lost that game to Alabama last year.
No.
There's no 4th and 30. Are you joking?
No.
What?
You knocked that down.
In the back of the end zone? But somehow, teams that just win, they just figure out a way to win. Terribly disappointing for me, for Georgia fans.
I did not think they looked good.
Georgia fans has got to be just clearly.
I'll say this: they're better than that.
Oh man, they got to be better than that.
They're better than that. But we saw some stuff. They said that Beck didn't have the receivers that could get separation like he usually does. Lovett was his best receiver.
Lovett didn't. What he got? I mean, he didn't have 90 yards.
90 yards.
89, yeah.
89, 6 catches.
Young had 20, and Bell had 20.
So they got to get them more yards. But we saw a special, and the guy said they wasn't open. That's why he didn't throw it to them. They weren't open.
Well, that's how you keep from throwing picks.
Yeah. He didn't throw one.
So, I'll give you our top 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead with yours. Did you write it down?
I did not.
Okay,
I got it on my phone.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me see here.
Let me find
Matthew McKinney.
I put it on.
Okay.
Wait a minute. What did I do? There it is.
I've got Ohio State 1.
I thought I sent it to you.
You sent it to me.
Oh, there it is. I got you.
I got Ohio State 1. Texas. Georgia drops to 3. Bama, Ole Miss, Miami, Tennessee 7. Oregon, Utah, Missouri. I got Penn State and USC 11 and 12. That's top 12, but that will not obviously be the top 12.
Yeah, they
in the thing because they're taking a mid-major, right?
Yeah. Well, no. The playoff and the AP poll would be different.
Right.
So they could have.
You could still be in the top 12.
No. Like if, say, Memphis, that's who we would put in right now. Memphis may be ranked 20, but they'll be 12 in the playoff poll.
Right.
Okay. I got Texas 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've played probably the better schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State's played nobody, and they're not going to play anybody. They got 1 quality game this year, but they've got to be 2.
Yeah.
They ain't done nothing really they've won. I mean, I got Bama at 3.
I have no problem with that. Not after yesterday.
They played good yesterday. This is this week's what we've seen so far, and they're at 3. Ole Miss at 4. For me right now, they're just clicking along and doing what you're supposed to do.
They're smoking everybody. Wake Forest.
They're good up front.
Wake Forest is not horrible.
their front three defensive line are guys, and tell them about the receiver Harris.
Oh my gosh,
he's
got 25 or 30 balls already.
Yeah, he's a generational guy, and I got Georgia at 5. I don't care whatever you can say. Well, win's a win. That's fine. And when Bama, if they beat Wisconsin 21-20 this weekend, they ain't my number 3.
No, no.
I'm not.
How can they be?
They would have been 5, and Georgia would have been 2. If the scores would have been reversed, I probably would have had Georgia 1.
Well, yeah, you got to.
Right?
I mean,
now 6, Miami. They're smoking people, man. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
They're not having any trouble with anybody.
And those crappy teams like Ole Miss, well, they're playing crap whole teams. Well, but what are they doing to them? They're beating the crap out of them.
Yeah, they're beating them to death.
Okay.
Tennessee is too.
Yes. Tennessee. Got Utah behind them. Same thing. They're beating these teams like Utah states, how they're supposed to beat them. I like Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon at 10, and 11 and 12. I could probably do USC and Penn State.
That's who I got. I don't know if there's anybody else right now.
But if you want a quality outside team, maybe.
I think LSU is good.
How about Memphis for the win, 20-12 over Florida State?
Yeah.
DJ 16 for 30 with 200 yards.
16 for 30 is not a great percentage. Not these days.
Benson had 100 for catching. Roy Dale had 6 yards rushing and a touchdown. Tight end, Lamphere had 5 catches at Memphis for 66 yards. Quarterback throw for 2 with 207. They had 336 yards against Florida State. Whew. So we griped about Norvell early.
They got to be a 13.
First part of the show we did. We griped about him. What do you do?
Well, I mean, you got to leave him alone.
They're 0 for 3.
Mm-hmm. They've lost 4 straight now.
They ain't been 0 for 3 since Bowden's first year in 76. 76. Started a year before I was born.
He's there a long time.
Oh, my gosh. He's great. Great man, too.
He was West Virginia's coach when Marshall
yeah.
had the plane crash. People know that. He was the head coach for West Virginia.
Is this game a surprise? And we'll get off here. Is it surprising that Memphis beat Florida State? You wasn't surprised by it?
No.
Who's Florida State play next week?
Let me check here. You looking?
Yeah. FSU football. I mean, who's the next victim? Cal? Yeah. 21st. That's
That's a tough time beating Cal.
Be a 6:00 game. Cal.
I'm serious. They will. They will have a tough time beating Cal.
I guess it's that. Let's see here. Next week games, and I'll come on Tuesday night and I'll go through a bunch of them. Which ones did you like about next week? Maybe
next
college.
Week, I like Tennessee and Oklahoma.
Yes. I nearly put that on this week's show. I forgot.
I like Illinois and Nebraska
because I was excited about that game. Because Heupel's going back home. How's he going to feel being back? You know what I mean?
I think that's a big test. And we said it would be for Tennessee. I like the Illinois and Nebraska.
Nebraska. That's a ranked game, guys. It's going to be on 7:00 Friday night. We will not get to see it. I will be
3-0.
I'll be at Valley Head.
3-0.
North Carolina State, Clemson, 11:00. Dean.
Yeah, that could be a good one.
Preseason, I thought it was going to be ACC title game, right?
What else you got? You got UCLA at LSU. I thought UCLA would be a little better. I like that Georgia Tech Louisville game. I do.
2:30.
I think that could be an upset. Georgia Tech did get upset by. Do you like the USC Michigan? I do.
Well, it's a brand game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's a game that everybody's going to talk about.
Exactly.
It's a traditionally a good game, yes. I'm fired up about Marshall. They may beat Ohio State. Be careful. I'm just kidding.
They did beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It's not a huge lineup, but there are some good games.
The ranked games are that one. Tennessee, Oklahoma's ranked game.
And like our friend from Cornwall said, that's the best Saturday to watch them.
Utah, Okie State.
I like that.
It's another ranked team.
I like that.
3:00. Vanderbilt lost this weekend.
They lost to Georgia State.
Yeah, 38-34. I think that was a score. But then they got to go to Missouri. This is when their season starts, so they needed that win to try to win 3 or 4 this year. Did they upset Missouri? Does Brady Cook break his leg and Luther Burton get a cold and has chills before the game?
I don't think it'll be 50-7, but I don't think they'll win either. I think 37-20, something like that.
47-7.
Yeah.
I
I just don't think they win that. Not there.
These are ranked teams playing. Texas got La Monroe. K-State's at BYU. Blah,
That
blah,
might
blah.
be a good one. That really might. K-State's got a tough schedule. They got Tulane and they play Arizona. Now they're playing
late game at BYU. Late. And them guys be up praying all day. So
hey, if they win that, they're going to be my 13.
Checking on their wives all day. They may be tired. Yeah, they got
BYU.
5 wives.
Mormon.
Yeah. I guess the game of the day is probably Utah at Okie State, USC at Michigan, Tennessee at Oklahoma.
Well, what's Tennessee and Oklahoma ranked? We say to us it is, but
6 and 15.
I'd say USC Michigan's the actual. What's the game of the week? That's probably it, isn't it?
Where is game day at?
They're in Oklahoma.
I bet so too.
Norman.
Crap. September the 21st?
21st.
Yep.
That's where they're going to be.
Yep. 6-2 when college game day is in Norman. Oklahoma 6-2 when college game day is there.
Tough test for Tennessee and Oklahoma, both of them. I think Tennessee, I'm for it.
Well, it's going to be a little
I don't know if I'm for Tennessee or not. Sorry, Sam. Logan. I got 2 cousins that are big. Well, I've got several cousins that are huge Tennessee fans. But I don't want them undefeated when they play Alabama. I don't know. It may be better for them to be undefeated when they play Alabama. Alabama knocks off some teams that are
they get the big head sometimes, and they think they got it.
Alabama's more likely to lose to a team that's lost a game or 2.
Yeah. Well, they come in.
LSU had lost 2 that year.
Yeah, I wouldn't put – like I used to hate when Bama would get ranked number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Come out of mess.
Yeah. And that could have been some of what's wrong with Georgia. Is that possible?
Well, they have some injuries. They got about 5 guys that they're mixing around, moving around right now.
Yeah.
Bama's got 5 guys injured right now, too. Jalen Hurd, or crap, I miss his name up every time. He's going to be out all year. He's been out for a few weeks anyway. He said Rising's injured again. Cam is. Pigpen. Well, at least we are better than Vandy and Mississippi State still. Yeah.
Yeah, Mississippi State took one on the chin yesterday.
Arkansas. Woo, back to you. Hey, bro. Hang on, Pigpen.
Hey,
just cheer. It keeps going down.
Arkansas is doing a little bit better than I thought they'd be.
Than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Tanner Green. Who is this guy? Where'd he come from?
Sam Pittman.
Didn't I look him up?
Yeah, you did.
He was from
Texas?
Yeah. One of them Texas quarterbacks.
Was it Allen, Texas, or somewhere like that?
Yeah.
School 5,300 kids,
yeah.
Maybe. 5,300. That's not a typo.
He looks like an athlete.
5,300.
Oh, no, yeah. Duncanville, same way. They got 4,800 kids at school.
Can you imagine going to school with 5,000 people? 5,000 people don't live in Cedar Bluff and Center.
No. What's the population? 20,000? County?
26.
I think it is. Yeah. That's cheers.
You put every school together and they don't have 5,300.
No.
K through 12.
No.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I told him, I said, could they not have broke that up into 3 or 4 schools?
Well, but the others have 34,000 too.
the other schools in the county.
They do these districts. You can look on Texas, have these blocks, like when they do their maps, and it's like District 1, Section 3, 3,800 kids. District 1, Section 4, 3,700 kids. I got into it one day for about an hour looking at Texas high school.
Well, it's that big around the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Because I was looking at those like Allen and Katy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Katy, that's where
crazy.
Murray's from.
Big.
Kyler.
If you're throwing football out there,
yeah, you're gonna start on the pro team one day, in which he did.
Yeah. And Jackson Arnold, I know he wasn't great to the day. He went running around a lot. Let me say this before we get off.
Which he does start.
About running around. We got some deadbeat clown riders out there, and they're just out there.
There's some terrible ones.
They're just out there. I don't know how they get paid. I can't get paid to even talk about stuff decently. And these fools get paid to put out top 12s and whatever. I can't help myself. This is absolutely, and I'm now it's not going to come up. I'll be crap.
You can tell us about it.
Articles, highlights. There it is, right there. Let's just put this up on the old interweb so everybody else can see why I get mad. What bothers me is people get paid to do this, and we can't get paid to do it. But a fool like Tim Brando, a fool, that's just silly. I don't think he's really into clickbait because he's about 70. Great at his announcing of games.
He is.
Been a follower and liker of his for, I guess, all my life.
Let me see that. Let's see how foolish it is. Who's he got number 1? I still can't see it.
I'm so aggravated. It bothers me because these people make a lot of money to put out crap like this. It's really pissed me off.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't. It's not about who's not on here or who's there. It's about these people make money to put out stuff like this. His list. Texas, dig it. Georgia, 9, okay. Ohio State, well, okay. Ole Miss, 4. Miami, Missouri, Utah, Oregon, Tennessee, K-State, USC, Penn State, Oklahoma State, Nebraska, Iowa State. That's his top 15. On the bottom down here it says, just out, Alabama, Northern Illinois.
That's stupid.
Todd, really?
Iowa State and Nebraska in the top 15 already.
So I'm just assuming either somebody made this.
After week 3, I'm just wondering if he did that. That don't sound like it.
He's been doing football so long. And I tagged Jake in it, Crane, and let me see if I ain't got no replies. I have some people. I don't know either.
Kansas State number 10, which I do agree that Kansas State's good. I got him at 14.
Do we need to pray for Timmy B because he's got a brain tumor and it's put pressure on his frontal lobe where he's just totally stupid? No, I don't think that's it.
I don't know what he's doing.
That's got to be for. I don't know if he. And do you know for sure that he made this?
No.
See, that's another thing.
See, he's got Nebraska and Iowa State 14 and 15.
I don't think
he's got Alabama out. And he's got.
And they're 3-0. They're undefeated.
And played great yesterday.
Beat all their teams. Played the best game
Missouri,
of the
6. Come on now.
I don't see. I don't think 4 through 15 could beat Bama.
I don't like his number 6. I don't think Missouri's number 6.
I
don't like his number 7. I don't think Utah's number 7.
The only team on there that I think
10.
The only team on there that I think that could throw the ball around enough to burn Bama and get them burnt enough times to beat them would be a healthy Cam Rising, maybe, but can their receivers? They're not that great. Would probably be Tennessee and maybe USC. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I agree with some of his rankings, with Alabama being out.
I could see those two teams and how they play football. They could burn Bama and get some busted coverages, but they're going to throw it all night. But here's the question. Can Tennessee and USC run the ball? Well, Tennessee, Samson kid's pretty good. And Tennessee can play defense and play tough ball, Bama, but they got one guy on defense. Bama's got about 4. So
Pierce.
Tennessee and Bama's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're ready to see that game.
It's going to be fantastic.
But why would he put – really?
Yeah, they don't make a lot of sense. I mean, I don't think you can put. You can't do that. There's several teams you can't do that to. Alabama's one of them. You can't do that to Georgia. You can't even do that to Miami.
Why would
right
you not
now.
put them on there? Why would you just?
Would you think he was stupid if he had Tennessee just out? I would.
Yes.
But he's got Alabama just out.
I watched a guy earlier today that had Tennessee out of his top 12. How?
They beat North Carolina
I
State
know.
51
They're like, he ain't got a quality. They beat Kent
Yes, they
State
do.
and Chattanooga. They beat North Carolina State at a neutral.
6 touchdowns.
Not at home, neither. They had to travel.
That was where'd they play them at? Bristol?
Mm-hmm.
At the racetrack?
Yes.
I'm serious.
So.
I think it was, wasn't it?
I think so.
I knew Virginia Tech had played there before in Tennessee one time.
36,
So you need to even have LSU in that top 15. And their only loss was to USC. Now, I agree with Kansas State. I like Nebraska. Or 20s.
What do you think about that? Him down. They got a 15-yard penalty for that. For roughing
horse collar.
No, roughing the passer.
Oh, that guy's good.
That's roughing the passer. That cost them 15.
Probably cost them the game.
What are we doing?
Mm.
And then that kid that was at the Tulane game. That this is the end of the show. This is our gripe session. That kid I think it was Tulane. Yeah, Oklahoma. He slides, and Tulane guys sees him slide, so he jumps over him.
Mm.
And as he's jumping over him, his forearm tips Arnold's helmet, tips top of his helmet, his forearm. Targeting. Number 15 is disqualified. Get him out of here, sick freak kid. What's he doing touching his helmet? He touched his helmet with his forearm.
Well, that melee at the end of that Kentucky-Georgia game was ridiculous, too. They kept throwing penalties.
This is gripe session. That's our gripe here.
That's all I got. But
yeah, that's crap.
Threw a holding call on one of Georgia's big plays right there.
You can't get out of it. I see it in high school games.
They will not leave the stadium.
Like, we're just locked in. Like, they make bonus money for overtime. What are we doing?
Oh, that last 4 minutes took 45 minutes.
You call back a touchdown over here for some kid at this school. It's got 400 kids in school. He breaks a 60, 70-yard run so you can probably get home earlier. Nah, holding. You can call holding every play, especially the small schools.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
Bring him either. The run. I mean, he made a run where they had him tackled. They had him tackled for a 2-yard gain.
What are we doing? These calls are Blaine too. I'm shouting out Blaine Crane again. I watched him today there, and Blaine, he was on a roll day. He was just being funny. The younger brother with the kind of beard said he'd jump off the balcony if Keontae Scott caught one more punt. He said the calls are definitely worse this year. It's just insane how bad they are. Like, how are we going regressing? I thought, these college refs are supposed to be like professionals and they're going to school and learning.
I don't know. I wish they quit with the targeting.
Stop throwing them out. That's the only gripe I got.
Yeah.
That's the only gripe I got at all. Just don't throw them out.
I don't like the not being able to jump a player either. If you can hurdle. Well,
some plays you can. Some of them you can do that. Just depends on what team you got.
I mean, there's always calls within a sport I don't like. I don't like the throwing them out. And I don't like a team getting their field goal blocked and being able to go pick it up and run a touchdown. Come on, man.
Talking about field goal touchdown, we could mention this too.
I mean, give me a break.
I forgot to mention this in the Bama game. Hey, we talked about how cool was it that we were talking about before halftime for Bama. What was it, like 50 seconds left? We were like, wow, they'll just probably take a knee.
Yeah.
I don't know. They go down and score.
Oh, God.
Is that the one he hit Burden on that's run across?
Yes.
That nailed it. That was 21-3. You're like, okay, yes. Ball game.
Yes, that did. 47 seconds. They went 90 yards or 80 yards.
That's what
87 and 40.
Coach at Wisconsin?
Yeah. Oh, he was mad.
He said, that's an ass whoop. I mean, y'all asked me. That's what you call it.
Yeah.
He said, that right there, what y'all the same. We got our ass whooped.
They did.
And they just did. And their quarterback didn't play defense. And so next week, Friday, will be I'll probably be about ahead. I'm trying to work out some stuff so I can get over there. That's going to be their probably a region.
Oh man, that's a big one. That's a big one.
And I know both coaches so well. And
calm down, bud.
Coach Ragsdale and Coach Hammond they're two great guys. I mean, they are. If all three of us in the room right now, I wouldn't even need to talk. I mean, they're just it's interesting conversation. Coach Ragsdale's that he's a young coach, and he's excited about his team. And Coach Hammond's been there and done that, older guy, and the personalities.
Yeah, it'll be a good one.
What a game this is going to be.
I agree.
I know everybody's like, it's just. Well, they got like 200 kids over at the school. Well, it's just small football, and that's what we grew up watching. And we don't even have bands.
No, not a lot of point.
But these games, man,
these
kids go. They give it all out. It's good competition, and I'm looking forward to a good game.
Yeah, I mean, kids have a right to play football just because they're not a 5-star.
Yeah, Cherokee County. Safe trip to White Plains and Bluff hosting section. Get a win. Hey guys, don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Just prepare.
Prepare
for the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and get after it and bust each other's head. Practice is supposed to be harder than the game, guys. So practice hard and hold each other accountable. We need some leadership. Sandrock hosts Pleasant Valley. Coach Heath. I think they got a good chance to win that one.
Yeah, they do. That'd be a big win.
I think they do.
4-1. Yeah.
I think they do. That'll put them right in that probably 2 spot or so, and that right under Pisgah. We still play later in about 2 weeks. Pisgah's just rocking, man.
They are.
We mentioned them a while ago. They're going. I don't know who's going to beat them.
I wouldn't think anybody much.
They'll have to run the Coastal Christian.
Yeah,
somebody that can just
and they will
play mean bully ball. Just get in the phone booth and we're just going to tie it and fight.
Yeah.
Pisgah likes to play that way too. They play that way with 5. They're used to playing that way. Your defense coach, Teddy, played at 5. Well, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
So good luck to everybody. And I'll be back Tuesday night. We'll do some college. These few 4 or 5 games, I'll go back through them. We'll get a little more in depth. How about that? Jeff, thank you for coming by and hanging out. Powerhouse Sports, shout out my man. What's going on, Andrew, Floyd, and Detroit. Catch them guys on. They're on every night. If you want to talk about high school football, Booker T. Washington, Andalusia, Real Town to Mobile Christian they got all that locked down.
Yeah.
They have coaches on at least a night or 2 a week. Go over there and
he's good.
Shout out to them. Jeff, we'll see you guys later. All the comment section. Pigpen, thank you for coming by. Woo Pig Suey, man. Hey, y'all got Auburn this week. I
like your chances. Be a good game.
We didn't in the summer.
No. But now I gotta say that Arkansas is probably favored.
Auburn's favored by 3.5.
3.5. Because they're at home.
It's got to be the only reason.
Yeah.
All right. Keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God, and we'll see y'all Tuesday night about 6 o'clock. All right.